not right. He begs for money night and day for all the games he wants to play. Must hit the goal or he don't win. He needs the cash to pay for gin. DARKSYDEPHIL is paying today. He needs your tips and you must pay. DARKSYDEPHIL, he's paying tonight. He needs your cash, just not right. They love to hate him, yes they do. He'll hit his gold and that's true. Tune in and watch his sad decline. No money, honey, watch him whine. Whine. Yes, they do. He'll hit his gold, and that's true. Tune in, watch his sad decline. No money, honey, watch him whine. Watch him whine. DARKSYDEPHIL is begging today. He needs your tips, and you must pay. He's begging tonight. He needs your cash, just not right. Why? Don't lie. That's just not right.
Felted tables where the losers cry, clinking glasses, card flips, and winners' battle cries. In the Kino Casino, under flickering lights, the games of chance never cease day or night.
In the heart of the city, where the shadows dance, stands the Kino Casino, a house of chance
where P and Andy, with a watchful eye, oversee the games where fortunes rise or die.
The jokers are wild, the dealers cold as stone.
As the night goes on and the stories are told,
desperate souls with dreams in their hands
game their lives in this dangerous land.
Felted tables where the losers cry,
clinking glasses, card flips, and winners' battle cries.
In the Kino Casino,
under flickering lights,
the games of chance never cease day or night.
Felted tables where the losers cry, clinking glasses, card flips, and winners' battle cries. In the Kino Casino, under flickering lights, the games of chance never cease day or night.
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. Hello, everybody. It's DARKSYDEPHIL. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis, tip me, so I could catch up on back taxes, making large stacks, refunding chargebacks, and my laugh sounds like act. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here,
50 bitch there. 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air.
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money.
I want to have chill streams. No detractor memes, bathroom breaks, playing WWE, relaxing chill session, Street Fighter 3. Like I'm getting my vibe back from 2017. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air.
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money.
I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. I'm the one who just filed for bankruptcy. I'm the one who didn't pay my taxes. I'm the one. Me. I'm the one who masturbated in front of children. I'm the one who got 4th place at Evo. I'm the one with a 10-year legacy. I'm the one. Me. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money.
To pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, the condo fees, my mortgage, my taxes, my back taxes, my current taxes, my state taxes, my federal taxes, my tax attorney, my tax guy, my tax accountant, my bankruptcy lawyer, all of my credit cards, my new setup, and a new laptop, PS5, gin, bowl of ramen, WWE champion.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and I am once again checking in on the despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. And I've got some this is pretty interesting. So DSP, I've noticed, has really been trying to retcon things, like, retconning the Kino arc, that he's the King Snake and all of this stuff. And then the May 1st burst, you may be familiar with it. That's when he masturbated on camera. He didn't know the camera was on. So he's tried to retcon that event now, and blaming an ex-girlfriend for why he was depressed. I just saw a video shortly before we went to air, too, that is new to me. DARKSYDEPHIL explodes in toxic rant at peasant viewer after $200 worth of chargebacks. So I am wondering, and I saw a few people wondering on Twitter, how long is it going to be before he completely crashes out this guy? I think it's going to take a marathon stream that doesn't hit any goals or some major financial problematic event. But I got to admire this guy, because his ability to just keep begging and bitching and twisting the arm of the retarded people that watch him is just incredible. Like, I'll tell you this, the guy's a survivor. He's like, listen, I am going to beg. Recently, somebody sent him a super chat and said, stop begging, piggy. And he said, no, I'm going to beg more. If you say something nasty like that, then I'm going to give you more of what you don't want. So I'm going to beg more. Like yes. And the Voices Will Not Stop is here and said he had a paranoid meltdown about a former dent possibly being in chat and giving him money. And God help Phil, because I got to tell you, I'm in a real bad mood today. Some of you know I've been building or trying to build a little cabin in the mountains. And boy, what a different experience I had between my first cabin and my second cabin. My first cabin, it's in a private residential community. And there's I call it the Kangaroo Court of Karens, the local HOA board members and old ladies, they make all these rules. The latest one that's so funny in there is that there's no fireworks of any kind allowed, including poppers, you know, those things you just throw on the ground and they make noise, and sparklers. You could get a $500 fine for giving your kids sparklers, which is so ridiculous because everybody in there's got a campfire. What's more dangerous, a campfire or a kid with a sparkler? But anyway, over there, the local governments always try to stop good tax-paying citizens from doing, pursuing whatever they're pursuing. And I'm a bit of a libertarian, and I think if I'm on my own land and I'm not bothering anybody, then nobody should have a problem, but they do. So the new cabin I'm building in the township next to the first cabin that I built, which is really weird because it's only 3 miles away, but it's a separate, it's like a separate authority and, township. And this fucking permit guy, I'm building a tiny 12 by 16 log cabin. This permit guy has now extracted, I think we're up to 85 pages of paperwork. I had to submit 2 copies of plans for each of the structures. There's 3 of them. There's the 12 by 16 cabin, an 8 by 8 tool shed, and a 4 by 4 shitter, outhouse. This guy needed 2 copies of complete construction plans for each of the buildings, and in one case, I don't have to give him any plans for the cabin because it's being built with a recreational cabin affidavit. And so this guy hassled me to no end, even saying, I don't even know if you could legally build a recreational cabin on that land. And so I got pissed off, and I guess I learned a lesson here. I got pissed off and I went and researched some of the laws and everything. And the recreational cabin affidavit that I gave them is a state law. They have to allow you can build a recreational cabin anywhere in Pennsylvania, according to the state law. Any municipality, they can't stop you. So here's what this dickheaded township did. They decided that since I think, this is all speculation, of course, they decided that since I stood up to them when they first tried to stop me from building a cabin, they decided that what they would do is try to stop me another way. So they tell you got to send in all these permits, a zoning permit fee, and you need a plot plan. I've given the guy 2 plot plans. Both of them were rejected. One was not to scale. One, I got the setbacks wrong. The setbacks mean how far from the road you're allowed to build. In some counties, it's 10 feet. In this county, it's 35. But I'm sure I asked him, and he said 20. So I put 20 on the second plot plan. That got denied, meaning 5 or 10 more pages. Do it again, So now I'm going to have to hire a professional draftsman to make this plot plan because it has to be exactly to scale, showing all the setbacks, and the buildings have to be to scale. What a nightmare. And so I think it's because I stood up to them that, and by the way, they've been dragging their feet on my paperwork, asking me for more and more papers for like a year now. And finally, I send in the last bit of the paperwork a few weeks ago. Today, this jerk off gets back to me and he says, you didn't include your recreational cabin permit fee. I go, there is none. He said, yeah, there is. Look on the fee schedule. These local yokels changed. There used to be no fee, no permit fee for a recreational cabin because it falls under state law. These people got together, had a meeting, and I think I'm the only one in that township with this recreational cabin affidavit. They got together and they changed the fee for a recreational cabin to $2,000. And this is coming out of nowhere. Now you need $2,000 and then I was threatened that if I don't pay them the $2,000, they know I've already started building this thing. They will fine me $4,000. So talk about government sponsored extortion, right? Yes, they just got to justify their outrageous wages. And also they can abuse the little power they have. Typical government stooge. Yeah. And we want to thank Master Betty for a kind and generous $2 super chat. Sorry, couldn't find the noisemaker. Very, very kind of you. He wage quit Sukadan 2 when? I'm not sure. We're going to get into it all. A Karen with a campfire is a health hazard. And thank you, Master Betty. We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And now I can honestly say I need that money. I really, really do.
Why did I spend the money? So just why did I spend all that money? Because I'm going to get more. Trust me. I know I'm going to get more. I know I'm going to get more money. You don't have to worry about it.
You know, I don't have regrets over buying that land, but I wish I would have planned a few $1,000s for extra expenses because I'm pretty tapped out. You know, like I put a $20,000 down payment, which was basically all the saved money that I had. I mean, not all of it. I saved a little bit for an emergency, but geez, man, you know, sometimes life just keeps hitting you. But I kind of shook it off already, you know. I'm not a fit Taylor Swift song, but I thought of that Taylor Swift song. Isn't it Shake It Off? You know, sometimes shit happens. You just got to shake it off and keep moving forward. So I was already thinking that I got to pick up the schedule here. Now I really have to pick up the schedule. I have also, I wanted to mention, somebody sent me sort of a, I don't know if it was, I wouldn't call it nasty, but a very critical email saying, oh, Steve, True Seekers used to be so fun. You'd show up every night and not know what you were going to see. And now you're getting kind of predictable because you're going after David Wilcock and this Dark Side Phil guy who I don't, you know, this guy didn't like the Dark Side Phil shows. I get it. You're right. It's getting predictable. So I've been planning some very different kind of shows, but those shows take time to pre-produce and put together. But starting next week, we're going to throw in a few more shows a week. Yeah, a literal NG says they can add fees if the process has already started. You could probably sue them for fraud. Well, here's what I have decided to do, a literal NG. I'm gonna start filing right to know requests because I've asked this permit person for all kinds of things. Like I want an original map of this undeveloped development that I bought this property in. I want legal paperwork from that development when it started, all the papers they filed with the township, because along with killing me with exorbitant fees and request for 85 pages of paperwork, they refuse to do anything about the road access issue. I'm on my own there because they say those are private roads, those aren't township roads. So I want all the paperwork and this guy won't give it to me. And so, you know, listen, I am no stranger to the request. It's called right to know requests. If it's in a, you know, local municipality. If it's federal, it's a FOIA request. I'm no stranger to those. I filed hundreds of them. So I decided what I'm going to do is if they're going to charge me this $2,000, I am going to hit them with 100 different right to know requests, even for shit I don't care about. I am going to work this township to death and until I feel like I've gotten my $2,000 worth from those dickheads, right? And Duco Duos, Alpha Ralpha. Who needs cash more than DSP or David Wilcock? Cabin Money Fund. I think I'm going to do a cabin marathon stream. I'm going to try that DSP thing. See if we can't get that $2,000 scraped up. Duco Duos. And by the way, you know, it's very emasculating that I have to go to my wife and like she might have to help bail me out for the time being. I hate that. And you know, there's been times when I have borrowed from family funds. She knows I always pay it back, but it's still, nobody wants to go. You don't want to go to your wife with your tail between your legs and ask her to help bail you out of a bad situation. But thank you, Duco Duos, Alpha Ralpha.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
And yeah, that NOK always gets me. I'm like, 50? Is that 50? But it's roughly $5. Yes. But thank you. Thank you very much. The voices will not stop for your kindness, generosity, and support. Here's roughly $5. Suffolk government? That's right. Suffolk.
But let's face it also, money talks.
Money talks. And you know, today I was thinking of that old saying, life is like a shit sandwich. The more bread you have, the less shit you have to eat. Like, if I had the money, I would just hire a lawyer and tell the lawyer, like, look, fight with these assholes. Here's what I want to do. I don't want to fight with these. I've been fighting with these people, feels like for a year now. It's ridiculous. And the fact that they, you know, so basically they said, oh, we denied your original, you know, I put in the original like months and months ago. They said, oh, we denied that. We sent you a letter. I didn't get any letter. So then they denied my original paperwork where I would have had no permit fee. They just conveniently denied that request. And then in April of 2025, they passed, and that was like February or March. And then in April, they passed new laws or whatever, saying that you have to pay $2,000 to build a recreational cabin, even though it's a state law. And then they came to me and said, you have to pay $2,000 and we need more paperwork. It's ridiculous that they're allowed to do that. It's absolutely ridiculous. But thank you. The voices will not stop. And look at that. We've got another one there. Yes. From Flat House Media. Please cover Lou Elizondo's crazy shit-talking lawyer at some point soon. We're going to do that. We absolutely are going to do that. And thank you for the very kind and generous $25. Very, very kind of you.
Throw money at me.
That's right. If there was ever a time when I need the audience to throw money at me, it is now, because I need that money. I really, really do. Okay, Dickers. Yeah, apparently he uses a similar sound effect. Look, man, I don't know. Look, my kid saw this somewhere, and it's like an applause button, whatever. And he said, that would be good, Dad, for super chats. And I wanted to use it to encourage him to think and, suggest good suggestions to me. It is what it is, right? Yeah, bro, it's all legit. They are legit scammers. Well, listen, all I can say is that I always win. Sometimes it takes a while, but I always win. I will bring that township's resources. Like, they're going to have to hire researchers to get me all the paperwork that I want from them. They're going to want 85 pages from me. I'm going to want 185, 385, 885 pages from them. And then maybe they'll get, I really think, I thought the first time that I went up against this township and started busting their balls back that they would realize, like, I'm not to be trifled with, But I guess they decided to retaliate. That's what it sure feels like. I hate to be like paranoid, but as far as I know, I'm the only person that's ever filed a recreational cabin affidavit in their jurisdiction. So is it a coincidence that they decided to make it and by the way, just so you know, you could build a 12 by 16 shed for $50, but a recreational cabin that you're going to sleep in, and I know what it is. They hate these recreational cabins. And the reason they hate them is because there's no building plans. There's no inspections. There's no uniform construction code. None of that. And it takes all the power away from the township to hassle you. They don't want those in their township. They want to be able to hassle you. Trolley, troll with one for the goal. My brother put my new crossbow together and went down to the feed store in the valley and picked up a couple of straw bales, trying it out tomorrow. That sounds great to me. I'm going to do that on my new property. I'd like to have a gun range and an archery range. But thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Longtime show supporter, Trolley, troll.
Why did I spend the money? So just why did I spend all that money? Because I'm going to get more. Trust me. I know I'm going to get more. I know I'm going to get more money. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. And Moth loves detracting with one for the goal. Thank you, Moth loves detracting, saying throw money at him. That is correct. Throw it at me.
But let's face it, also, money talks.
Yes, and thank you for letting it talk to me. Very kind of you guys before we even got started on the slop content. I mean, great content for tonight. Oh, the township is just like DSP. Yeah, they're begging. Yeah, Duco Duos. I'm going to bury them in FOIA requests. They're going to be sorry they did this to me, I mean, they can't stop me from filing FOIA requests, even if I start filing hundreds of them, right? They might also hate it when city folk come to their rural communities. Then they get mad when their stupid little town dries off. Yeah, I don't know, but the fact that they want, like, come on, $2,000 to build a 12 by 16 tiny cabin in a wooded property, that is exorbitant. That is ridiculous. And I may look into legal options, but only if I can represent myself against the township pro se. Here's what I think. I think I'm going to pay them the blood money and give them some more paperwork, but then I'm going to say, like, if you guys want anything else, I'm going to an attorney. This is ridiculous. We've been at this for how long? Wondering if you saw Lechero's new episode of Familia DSP. Yeah, we played it last week, I believe, or the week before that. If there's a newer one, let me know. Scam alert. Yes. Yes, in the nicest way possible. I do not like the cheering alarm. All right, well, we'll dispense with the cheering alarm for a while, okay? But that some people paying the super chats want it. Just wanted to hear you say bottled water. Thank you, bottled water, and we appreciate you.
I have no money. Why would you give that man money?
Yes, I am now negative $2,000 thanks to the wonderful Dreyer Township in Pennsylvania. If you know where Dreyer Township is, or is it? It's called the town is called Newfoundland, like newfound land. Yeah, I found some land. Unfortunately, they want to fucking bend me over and fuck me my ass and steal $2,000 out of my wallet before they're going to allow me to build anything on it. It's so ridiculous. Cheering alarm only for super chats above $10. Cough it up, Dents. That's an excellent idea. The cheering alarm is only for $10 or more going forward. Yes. So we're going to get into the clips that I have. I have one here from one is from Duty Streams, and this one is DSP retcons the incident. And go over and subscribe to Duty if you haven't already. He just made me a mod on his channel, which is very nice. If he's ever over here, I'll make him a mod as well. He's blaming his girlfriend and his depression for what happened with the May 1st burst. If you don't know what May 1st burst is, that's when DARKSYDEPHIL masturbated on a stream in front of children. Luckily for him, the camera was just pointing at his face, but he was like you could tell he was wanking it. It was gross. Yeah, there's a Newfoundland in Pennsylvania. Yeah. If you have land but cannot build anything on it, what is it worth? That is why they do this. So you cannot use your land. They want you to lose your land to Bill Gates or Blackcock. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy about that kind of stuff. Our permit to build our house in Washington, D.C. was less than your cabin permit. Yeah. I mean, it is ridiculous. But see, here's the thing. I'm hesitant to push back on the $2,000 because I think they're just going to then deny me or what, I kind of have a feeling like, look, I just paid $2,000. What do you guys want to do? You want to really not cash my check or what? I'm kind of, most of me says just pay them the blood money, suck it up and pay them and, whatever. And then I have to go. I went on Fiverr. I thought I found somebody that could draw the plot plan better than me. I'm sure they're going to do it better than I did. I don't know. PPP would say 50 sub bomb to turn off the alarm and another 50 bomb to turn it on and make the chat fight. Yeah, it's a good idea. The first person that gives some subs, gifts 50 gifted memberships will get to decide the fate of the scream bell, right? I was the ninth grader. I was a ninth grader when I saw that stream, and it was disturbing, says Moth Loves Detracting. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're going to get started. So this is DARKSYDEPHIL retcons the whole May 1st burst masturbation event.
About the incident 9 years ago. I've talked about this many times. I don't shy away from talking about it because the real reason that I survived the incident is because I owned it.
He owned it. He denied it. Then he said that he faked it. Remember? This is like the third retcon. And I love how Duty Streams has DSP Gaming approved. Right?
And because I made a joke out of it
or
and I
licensed.
With it while
DSP Gaming licensed, as if he's a licensed restreamer. Because remember the controversy? Phil wanted everybody to pay him a license fee to restream his garbage content.
the whole world was laughing at me, I laughed too. I feel like if I had done it the opposite and instead I had been like offended or tried to hide it as a secret or said it didn't happen, it would have been very poorly for me. It probably would have been the end. But instead I treated it like, a stupid, embarrassing, funny thing that could have happened to anyone, and it panned out well. Now, hold on one second here.
Oh, I apologize. This is where he gets delusional. Like, getting caught doing that on a live stream is worse than embarrassing. That is, for most people, that is career ending, or should be. I don't know how he survived, but anyway, having a booger hanging is embarrassing. Getting caught doing that is like literally criminal. Like, he basically exposed himself to children. He's very lucky that he wasn't on like a full body shot and didn't show his junk or something. I almost hit the bell. Master Betty says, keep in mind he took off on May 1st this year. Yeah, because he didn't want to hear the detractors talk about May 1st burst.
The dollar signs are too powerful for a lot of people, man.
Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support, Master Betty. He's a narcissist, so he retcons things to protect his ego. I believe that. Yes, and Metalhead Retro Gamer says, let's get some subs, bish! Yeah, why don't you lead the charge there? And we'll check in with the Kick chat as well. Also, I pinned in both the Kick and the YouTube live chat the link to our new Clips channel. Please go over there and subscribe. I'll do anything but blow you. Like, come on, guys. This is one of those things, like, people begged me to do a Clips channel. Well, not begged, but people asked for a Clips channel for years and years and years. I've been doing this show for about 4 or 5 years now, I think, 4 years. I finally did the Clips channel. We put a shit ton of work into all those clips and building the Clips channel. We can't get 1,000 subscribers over there. Let's get some subs over there. That doesn't cost anything, but will help us, right? That would really, really help. All right, let's continue with this beggar extraordinaire retconning his masturbation event in front of children.
To be honest, I feel like I am pretty lucky in that regard. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like
I was lucky that he jerked off in front of people.
So many people on the internet at that point were already making fun of me for, like, this is how you don't play and stuff, that it didn't really matter that there was another thing that they were trying to tack on that was embarrassing. If everyone is already saying, this guy is a joke, he's a bad gamer, and all of this. Keep in mind, this was before I was an interactive streamer. I didn't do anything like I'm doing right now. It was more just doing raw playthroughs and trying to put out quality playthroughs, right?
Quality.
So, here we go.
Nothing says quality like being caught wanking one off during your pre-stream.
Here we are. So, yeah.
I just noticed that Duty puts him in a wheelchair. Look at that. Just like his dents. Good job, Duty.
Yeah, like,
big ups to Duty.
Because already people had kind of made me out to be a joke on the internet and stuff like that. I think that's why I was able to laugh it off and people laughed at me, but it was okay. Like, if it was the first time you ever heard about DSP and that's what you said,
I can't tonight
like,
because I can't go get it, and I don't believe in DoorDash, but I'll do it on the next.
People already knew who DARKSYDEPHIL was, and they're like, oh my god, now that's an embarrassing thing that happened to him, right? Also, let's be very honest here. I was very lucky that absolutely nothing was shown.
Yeah, just your face as you spurred out having fucking... And what did you do? Just like jerk off on the floor underneath your desk? You know, dude, at least do some planning and forethought. Get a tissue or something, right? A sock. I don't know. Not that I'm an expert in these matters. I'm a married man whose wife never says no. I think she had a headache once in 20 years. Some of us don't need to crank one out too much.
Because the truth of the matter is, nothing was shown whatsoever. Nothing. It was just my stupid O-face. Awful resolution, peach fuzz, no audio.
O-face.
You didn't see what I was looking at. Obviously, there was no nudity or anything.
God bless
Really, it was not true sexual content. There's more sexual content shown in a movie like
American
American
Pie wash his hands
than
before
was in that
continuing
clip,
the stream.
right?
Yeah, he probably had
so I was
all
very
over
lucky. Because if I had shown anything, or if there was actually audio that had been captured or something, oh boy, that probably would have definitely been like not able to come back.
Oh, the camera's been on.
But I did get lucky in that regard. Okay, Now, a lot of people say, well, how did that whole go down and everything? It's honestly, it's a pretty simple story.
He's got
It's
an
just a
argument
sad
with his
one.
girlfriend,
and I've told
and
it
he was
before.
upset and he needed
Some
to pick
people to
me
this
up
day
before going live.
accuse me of faking it. Are you insane? You think I would fake something
He
like
always
that?
got
It's
his
like I've
biz
said,
rag
it was my
handy.
most embarrassing moment of my life.
His wife
And like the one
has
silver lining I
migraine.
take out of it is
Yes.
that no matter what happens to me for the rest of my life, I've already experienced my most embarrassing moment. There's no way I could have a more embarrassing moment than that. Really? Like, what else
Yeah.
could there be more embarrassing than that? So I'm good in that regard. I got it out of my system relatively early, right?
He got it out of his
I
system.
floored the brakes, and the truck didn't stop.
Yeah, right, Bill. His,
I don't know what happened.
his
I
rag
floored the
is
brakes,
the
and the truck
entire
didn't stop.
carpet in his dingy office.
God damn it.
All
All right, well,
right.
this car is not
Ew.
going to move. I got to back up. It doesn't seem to want to move. He just tried to back into me, by the way. Did you see that? All right, so that's called momentum. Oh, I don't know about that. What's momentum? Anyway, so in regards to the incident, now that the most embarrassing moment has happened, you know, I honestly think like things have slowly gotten better since then. Honestly, if you want to know the truth,
Things have gotten better for him since
that
we
really was the
spanked
low point
off.
of my life.
Yeah,
So what's the story
point.
behind it? It's not complicated at all.
Okay, so now he's going to tell us, like, dude, why are you even addressing this? If you get caught cranking one out on a live stream, the reason you cranked one out on a live stream is really not relevant. Like, TMI, dude. We don't need to know why you cranked one out. We really do not need to know. We really do not need to know. And I just want to mention, thanks to your kindness, generosity, and support, we've got 5 of 30 towards the goal. So we're inching towards it. I'm going to check in with the Kick Chat. We'll do some shout outs over there. I know those guys get pissed off when I don't acknowledge the Kick Chat, and we try to do that. Pinned in the live chat is our new Clips channel. If you go over and subscribe to the new Clips channel, please don't if you've already. If you subscribe to the new Clips channel tonight, put in all capital letters in either the Kick Chat or the YouTube chat, I subscribe to the Clips channel. I'll give you a big shout out and thank you. And yeah, and we want to shout out to Cash Bar Wedding is over there. Winter Soldier is over there. And we've got her tag. Telling me to join their Discord. And Ludinost, Jared of the Dead is over there. Dark Hoodie, Herr Wagner, Babalushki, I think I said that right. Blazing Mad is over there. And I mentioned Ludinost and Scopely CFO. DSP has to have an excuse for how nothing is his fault. Yeah, it's not my fault that I jacked off on a live stream. Sector has become a YouTube Clips channel member. So thank you, Sector, for your kindness, generosity, and support. And that's a great way to support the show. Go subscribe to the Clips channel. And shout out to all of you. I'm going to check in with the creator dashboard. What is that? See who's contributing or who has contributed. Boba1489 has gifted 5 subscriptions. That's more than $10. 5 subscriptions, my friends, on Kick. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for the support. And that was Boba1489. And Wacky Shucks also became a subscriber. So thank you for that. And Deathcore Lover 6660 gifted a sub. So thanks to all you Kick supporters for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
That is right. Cash money, bitches. All right, let's continue with this jerk off trying to explain why he was caught being a jerk off. Literally, he was caught.
At that time frame, things were falling apart for me. This was 9 years ago, okay? Things were falling apart for me piece by piece.
No, that's the worst time to crank one out. You don't crank one out when you're feeling down. I could see maybe you needed a pick me up, right? It's not going to help your self-esteem to be cranking your own Come on, bro. It's not going to help. If you're depressed, cranking one out is only going to make you more depressed. What you need is to get laid. That'll make you feel better. And Cootie the Kid is here. Big time show support from Cootie the Kid. Says, thanks for the stream, Steve. Hopes everyone has a good day. Well, my day started pretty shitty, but it's getting better. So praise to Cash, bitches. And thank you, Cootie the Kid 07, who's been a big show supporter since joining our ranks.
Without going into specifics yet again, yeah, I have no money. I'm being honest here. I have no money right now.
Yes, I'm being honest. I'm at negative $2,000 right now. How did that happen, right? I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. Legally, I showed no nudity. So, bro, didn't the accident happen like a decade ago? He needs to let it go. I know, but people are still asking him about it. So he's saying he was depressed, and that's why he was cranking one out on stream.
Life. So first of all, I moved out here in 2014. I lived in Connecticut originally, but I basically spent like all of my money that I had earned on YouTube for this move. To buy the house, to move across the country, to furnish the house, and some. I overspent basically.
Yeah, his move makes no sense to me. I mean, I grew up on the East Coast, and I have lived in a few other places, but I knew people in those cities. Like, I had a reason to go live there, you know? I don't understand. And if you want to move across country, how do you go, I'm living in a shithole in Connecticut. I know, I'll go live in a shithole in Washington State. Like, who decides to just move to Renton? Who doesn't know people there? Who doesn't, I live with the camera on. Get over it. Yeah, I guess we're going to be forced to watch him. That's pretty gross. He thought he had cheated the tax system. He should change his name to Live Wank Phil.
Expecting that I was always going to make the same amount of money. Within 2 years of me moving, my income was like halved. So I was completely screwed.
Yeah, but he's probably making like $300,000-$400,000. So even halving your income, most people would be fine. How did you get? Oh,
because I was already up to eyeballs in debt, and I didn't see a way out of this financially. I think
he moved to isolate his girlfriend 100%. Yeah,
entirely for the rest of my life. So just that, okay, was one big problem.
Trying to isolate Candalee from her family.
My personal life started to unravel. I was with a significant other. I'm no longer with her since 2017, by the way. My current, my wife and everything I met after that, okay? So anyway, I had been with this, this girl for a while, and we decided to move and start a life.
Yeah, and he's kind of a scumbag, because wasn't that girl like 17 when he started chatting her up? Wow. At least his wife was past 18, right?
Together. And at first it was fine, but basically as soon as stuff started to happen, like financial issues and heavy trolling on the internet, basically our whole relationship fell apart. Like, we just stopped wanting to spend time together. We didn't really talk that much. We lived in the same house, but we weren't really interacting that much.
Yeah, in other words, she got tired of his shit.
She went off and got a job for herself and was hanging out with her own friends while I was at home all the time working to pay the bills and keep the house, basically.
Yeah, because you never leave your house. And here's one thing you need to know about women. Gentlemen, and this is very good advice, they love activities. They want to do things, right? I struggle with this myself because I'm kind of a homebody. Like, my idea of a fun evening is like sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours. That is not my wife's size. She, especially with the boys, she wants us to do activities and go places and trips. And she wants to create, I think I figured out that she wants to create memories for our family. So we try to do new things constantly. Women want to go places. You can't just sit at home and play video games for 12 hours a day and expect to keep a woman happy. It's not going to happen, moron. He's just literally, he's retarded. It's no shocking surprise to me that he couldn't keep a woman. And I bet you he's low T and couldn't make her come. I guarantee she never came the whole time she was with Phil.
So the entire thing had fallen apart. I mean, it got to the point where we weren't barely talking.
Yeah, I think you're...
Well, and it sucked because,
some people are more extroverted,
privacy.
Right?
We live in the same house. So how do you have any privacy to yourself when you're living with someone who's almost just like a roommate? Right?
Phil failed to
It was
hit
just
the
messed
tips
up.
goal
Now, the
today.
thing is, we didn't want
Well,
to tell
I'm
the internet
failing
about
so
that,
far, but I
because
have
everyone
high
would just
hope.
turn it into drama. So we lied and we fibbed and we basically made a bunch of stuff up constantly. There was a couple times we tried to make it still work. Like we went on a trip
So
once.
what, he was lying to his audience about how they were fine and the relationship was good, right? Unless your wife has a raging Everwatch addiction, yeah, suffer, Phil. It's the same reason Kat is obese. There is no satisfaction, so she just works and eats. Yeah, I feel bad for his wife. Like, imagine coming home to this clown every day, right? They live off of DoorDash food. Well, look, at some point, you have to take responsibility. If you're putting on weight, you have to. I struggled with this myself recently. Like 4 or 5 months ago, I was like, holy shit, I'm starting to look like I'm getting this big spare tire. I'm putting on all this weight. I blame my wife. She's a great cook. You got to take responsibility. So I started walking every day and I started on the carnivore diet. And I'm down almost, 20 pounds almost. So I feel good again. I feel like my old self. I didn't feel like myself with that big gut. So I have empathy for anybody, who struggles with weight issues, because of all the people, I would never have thought I would struggle with weight issues, because I've been bone thin my entire life. I've always been super skinny.
To Seattle, and maybe this trip is like
I guess my metabolism just dropped after a certain age.
kind of the last straw where it will click again and things will work out. But it just didn't work out. Right? It was destined to fail. It really wasn't a good relationship to begin with, to be honest with all of you. Okay? Anyway.
It wasn't a good relationship for who? Her or you?
So my personal relationship was falling apart at the seams. I was up to my eyeballs in debt. I was constantly being
thank
trolled
you,
all
dude,
the time.
sweetie man.
And so basically,
sweetie
what
man.
I saw was that this room, this office, as I called it back then.
Dance drunk in the wash again?
So much fancy stuff in here.
Yeah, I couldn't blame it on
I
that.
considered it
I
my
was getting
office,
fat,
right? My
dude.
workspace. This was literally the only
It is.
room in the house
That's what my wife
where
said.
I could be private.
It's the beer
where
drinking.
we didn't have a shared space where she would have access to it. You know what I'm saying? When I was in here and the door was closed, that's me time, right?
Yeah, so the only place I could crank one out was in front of my streaming setup. Like, is he just retarded? Because, look, man, I get it. Sometimes you got to crank one out, Sometimes you just got to crank one out. But you don't do it in front of a webcam without putting that cap cover on that webcam or something. You just don't do it there. I have a very strict rule. I will not crank one out anywhere near my streaming setups. Just to be safe. I refuse. I refuse to crank one out in front of any streaming setup or laptop with a webcam no, I will not do it. Right? He must be retarded. Yes, Stephen, very much so. You are correct, sir.
Problem being, she was almost always home. Yes, she had a job, so there was a few times a week when she went to work. For the most part, the only time...
This is another amateur mistake. You can't crank one out when she's home? What are you? An amateur? You can't crank one out when your wife is home? What's wrong with you? I mean, I could, You just got to be quiet. You got to put headphones on if you're watching, some helpful videos to get you through that crank out session, right? I don't do it if there's any camera around. See, you're an expert, ironic Cridge. You're an expert at cranking one out. Every expert knows you don't crank one out in front of a camera. What's wrong with this clown?
The time that I got to myself, to be for myself here, was here in this room. So how did this situation happen? Well, I was insanely stressed out. We weren't really together. I was at my wit's end. I wanted some private time.
I wanted to crank one out, so I just did it in front of a webcam. I didn't know the camera was on, so it's not my fault.
And I idiotically tried to squeeze in some private time at the only time that I could, like literally as I was starting my work stream, which is the stupidest thing you could possibly do, but it wasn't like I was in my right mind. I was insanely stressed out. I was doing dumb things. I mean, daily people were baiting me into doing rage bait shit on stream. And, like I said, it was just a very different time of my life. And I'm so happy now things are so very different. I'm
get
much
wild in
wiser,
here tonight,
I'm older.
Arlene.
I don't usually, fall for dumb shit like that. I do still sometimes, but not all the time.
Oh, not all the time.
And things are just a lot different now. Okay, I'm so happy that I met my wife, and I'm happily married, and we have such a great life together. Like I said, my home life outside of this room is amazing.
I bet you he still cranks one out right at the desk right before he starts his streams. He just puts the webcam cover on now, right? He did learn that lesson. Put the webcam cover on before you crank one out 10 minutes before the stream. This dude takes 10 minutes to explain that he was horny. Yeah, he needed a pick-me-up. That's what he told Craig in that interview. He was depressed and he needed a pick-me-up.
It's really, really good. And it's actually getting better now that things are better with support where we can take extra days off. Like this week, we're going to have an extra day off. We can spend time together. It's going to be really, really good. Okay? But anyway,
yeah, people who are happy have to totally tell you all the time.
Was basically my one escape from this depressing life that I had behind the scenes, you know?
Phil busts big loads.
I know that sounds messed up. It really was. Like, it really was dysfunction. It was
bouncing off those hands.
Existence where we had to keep up appearances to make everyone think that we were still happy and together. I mean, I'm not even kidding. We basically weren't together almost the full 2 years.
Do you know, when I was a PC repair tech, that was a pretty common problem. Like, somebody would come and say, the keyboard stopped working. Well, have you tried cleaning the spooge out of it? Gross, dude. Absolutely gross. You know you're bawling when you only crank out to sold out worlds. Phil's favorite topic of conversation is himself. That is correct.
That we still live together. Because remember, we moved out here in 2014. I would argue probably it was around middle to late 2015 that the whole thing fell apart. And then we still were together, but not really. Until, what was it, like the beginning of 2017? I want to say it was February, March 2017 when we broke up and she moved out. So, I mean, think about being like a prisoner in your own house for like a year and a half. You're stuck with someone who you really don't have feelings for. They don't have feelings.
No, you could throw the bitch out. If you're that unhappy, you throw the woman out, or you pack your shit and you leave. You don't just live in misery. Who would live in misery for a year and a half except a loser like Phil? He is so, like, what is the word for it? Beta? You know, that's not the move of a winning man. You know, a winning man doesn't stick around through a year and a half of a toxic relationship. And Troll is here with one for the goal, who says, remember, he told a little 11-year-old girl, if he was there, he'd smack her smart mouth. Yeah, he threatened an 11-year-old girl to be beat up. He did.
The dollar signs are too powerful for a lot of people, man.
Not for me, though. And thank you, Troll. Long-time show supporter, right? Now, Arlene wants to know what his idea of quality time is. He's happy he's married to use his wife as a prop to manipulate other people with. Yeah, true sign of a narcissist. Yeah, defeated male leaves. I don't know. I've had some breakups, and I generally, like, I don't know. Most of the breakups I've had, I initiated. Like, if I'm not happy, I'm not going to stay with somebody that makes me unhappy, you know? I mean, I always thought, like, life is too short to spend time with somebody that you don't enjoy spending time with. So the minute the girlfriend wasn't fun anymore, she had to go. And I always had a rule. I'd get a hotter one that I liked spending time with more. And that's worked, you know. Never got an upgrade from my wife. That's why I'm still with her. And I still enjoy spending time with her and my boys immensely. That's probably my favorite thing to do besides this, is spend time with my boys. By the way, you can follow me on X or Twitter at Stephen Canby, and we post some new fishing pictures of me and my son and stuff. Razzle the Lost says, fun fact, True Seekers, after DSP moved out of his parents' house, he would go back regularly for free meals and get his laundry done by his mom. He didn't learn to use a washer and dryer until he was 35. What a loser. What a loser.
For you. You're trying to make it work. It's not working.
I don't know. I learned how to wash clothes at probably 15. My father came to me and said, your mother has enough shit to do. You boys, you and your brother, you're doing your own laundry. And, I just had my mom show, I think it was 14 maybe, I don't know, 14 or 15. I just had my mom show me how to do it, and then I did my own, and I would put them away. Now I'm spoiled. My wife does all that, and I always joke with her. She's like, I got a lot of wash to do for the boys, and I go, okay. Like, I offer to help, but she doesn't want me to because I once turned everything pink. I don't know what I did. Oh, I think I put in a red shirt with all whites or something.
You have no way to really be separated because it's not like this is a humongous house where, like, I can't live on the top floor and she lives on the bottom floor. Like, you know what I mean? So it was pretty messed up.
Why would you want to do that with your girlfriend? It must have been a pretty toxic relationship.
Situation. And that's why it happened, because here I am trying to basically have a moment for myself of relief.
A moment of relief. Oh, that was a relief, all right. Until you found out the camera was on, you moron. Right? You fucking moron. Fresh meat, I think that is. I started my laundry at 8 years old because my dad worked so much and I had to wear uniforms to school. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, when I was like 10 years old, my mom got a part-time job and my dad just decided that I would cook dinner. I'm like 10 years old because I would help my mom in the kitchen a lot. So I think he thought I was better suited to cook. And then my brother was supposed to do the dishes, but half the time he didn't do the dishes. So I'd end up doing both. It sucked. It really sucked. I was kind of happy when she stopped working part-time.
Before a stream, and I'm just trying to, like, fit it in when I really can't do it at any other time.
Trying to
idiotically
fit in
try
the
to do
crank
one
out.
Stream is live. That was insanely stupid. Like, the most dumb thing I could have done. And of course, now I know that and admit that. But back then, I just didn't give a shit. Honestly, to be honest, remember, this was also the year when I was trying to rebrand myself as KO Gaming, and I was doing a whole edited content channel on YouTube. So in my mind,
yeah, you're right.
Already falling apart, and it wasn't working.
You're right.
Like, YouTube was falling apart. I was losing money constantly.
I'll tell you what, when I went to live on my own, I already knew how to cook, and that was a tremendous help. And I was a starving artist, so you kind of had to know how to cook or you would starve to death, It's funny, I met my mother-in-law before I met my wife, which is the funniest thing. She was nosy lady at the supermarket, and she would look in my cart, and she kept telling me about her daughter. This is my mother-in-law before I met her daughter, who's now my wife. And she would say, I have this daughter, Sharon, would just love you. And then she would like interview me every once in a while. She would look in my cart and she's like, I noticed that you're buying a lot of like ingredients. Do you know how to cook? And I go, oh yeah, I cook all my meals. And then she watched me pay, noticed that I paid with cash, and the next week commented on that. Like, you got a job? And I go, yeah, why? She goes, well, I noticed you didn't pay with like a food stamp card or what, so you would be good for my daughter or something. And I kept joking with her. I'm like, yeah, give me your number, And then me and my wife met independently. And my mother-in-law had been telling my wife, Sharon, about me for months and months and months. Every time I came into the store, she would mention me to her daughter. So I have a great relationship with my mother-in-law. I always say, you picked me out, so you can't complain. You picked me out for your daughter. She really did. Look at that. Mother Freya 2840 says, I was just watching Meerkat cover that KO Gaming. Good stuff. Yeah, maybe we'll get into some of that.
I have no money. Why would you give that man money?
Yes, thank you, Mother Freya, for your kindness, generosity, and support. I will routinely be checking in with the Kick Chat. Checking in with the Kick Chat. And I apologize to Boba1489, who must have gifted 5 subs late in yesterday's stream, so I didn't call that out. So thank you, Boba1489, for the gifted subs. Much, much appreciated, and big ups. All right, let's finish this jerk-off explanation.
Constantly. My relationship was breaking up. My financials were awful. Everything was bad in my life. So I was like,
yeah, I got no money. My girlfriend won't bang me. I know. I'll crank one out in front of a webcam. Then I'll feel better.
Fuck it. I don't even care anymore. I don't care about the risks I take. I don't care about nothing because nothing's working anyway. So who gives a shit? I was really depressed. 2016, yeah, I was really, really depressed that year. I wouldn't be surprised if you look back at stuff I did in 2016, shaking my head at like, Jesus.
Oh, come on. If you're depressed, the worst thing you could do is crank one out. You can't do that. I don't know. And look at that, Alex Andrella's 41141. Do you think Phil could build a cabin in PA? I really don't know based on my experience.
Well, let's face it also, money talks.
And thank you for letting your money talk to me. Much appreciated. Big ups. Alex Andrelis 4141 with some big support tonight. One for the goal. He's never touched a tool. Yeah. Well, you know, before I built my first cabin, I mean, I barely knew what I was doing. I started building my cabin with a jigsaw and a screw gun. That's all I had. And now I have, you know, circular saws and chop saws and chainsaws, and I have an air compressor and nail guns. Luckily, my neighbor taught me, you know, he's a construction guy, so he kind of showed me. Like, he brought over an air compressor once and a nail gun when I was working on a big project, and said, "Why don't you try this for the day? I guarantee you'll want to buy one before the day's over." And he was right. Like an hour or two into it, I called my wife on the phone. I'm like, "I got to buy an air compressor and some nail guns, right?" He couldn't put the boom arm together. Yeah, he sucks. He totally sucks. He couldn't build a cabin. And I think it's funny that David Wilcock tells everybody that he lives in a log cabin, but he bought it. And I always say, men build cabins, bitches buy them.
This guy was so angry at everything. I really was. I was very upset that things that were turning out that way. I thought that I was basically going to have to stop doing YouTube, and I was going to probably have to give up the house. That's what I thought ultimately, is that I was going to have to lose my house. I was already losing my relationship. I was probably already going to lose my house. I was going to lose everything. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. It was just, including your reputation. Like, getting caught doing that he'll never live that down. For the rest of his life, he'll be the guy that jerked off on stream.
It's a really messed up time. But like I said, I'm glad I got past it, and now I'm stronger for it.
I'm stronger for having
happened to me has already happened, and now I have the rest of my life to focus on, instead of worrying about what's the next thing. There is no next bad thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that something worse than that is going to happen to Phil.
Really? It's already all behind me, the worst stuff.
I can't believe that he talked about this for 12 minutes. Like, why would you even address this?
Okay, I know that was a long story, but it is a long story. We are now at...
Well, I wanted to see, too, how was he doing on the goal during this? I guess the Dents like hearing about that. Top tip, $5. King's tax, 184. Why does he have a double goal? Did you notice that? How greedy can you get? He wants $300 for one stream now. Does anybody know why he's asking for $300 for one goal instead of 150? If people don't know anything else about DSP, they know he's the guy who jade off on stream. Yes, you are correct. That's one of the first things that I heard about with him. You know, Dents whale out on Truck Sim. Really? That's interesting. Once he hits the goal, he does another 150 because he's breathing. When he hits 150, he changes it to 300. Yeah, good guy. Jeez, how greedy can you be, right? That's greedy to me. But then again, if we hit our support goal, I'm going to expect a double goal myself, like, because I learned it from watching DSP, right? I learned it by watching you, pal. All right, we're going to see what is our next Autists and big vehicles go hand in hand. $100 to talk about J.O. What a perv. Yeah, I'm trying to watch my language. I don't know. Lately, I've been getting a few streams demonetized because I say off-color things too much, and I hate that. Like, you know, it's hard enough to scrape any ad rev out of YouTube. YouTube's been fucking me more than their own wives lately, I guess. I don't know. All right, let me see. What is the next video here? DSP rants about Gamescom begs for double goal. Oh, let's do the kick dent crash out next. This is pretty good. 1 second. And this again is from Duty Streams. Go subscribe to him. He makes great clips as well, so I don't have to.
And people once again start asking me, will I play the DLCs? And I said, I already laid out the rules for me to play the DLC. You guys have to support the GTA 4 streams. If we were hitting goals every GTA 4 stream, I was going to do them. But we haven't. Like last stream, we made like $80. So no, I'm not doing them. And then someone said, well, what do we make up for that? And I said, well, how about this? If we hit a double goal tonight, then we're very close to the end of the game. Next week, I'll move GTA 4 from a night stream back to a day stream so we can do a major day stream, wrap up the story, and then we'll start the Ballad of Gay Tony because that's the DLC you guys seem to want most. And I've only played it once. That's what we'll do. And then all of a sudden, when I said that, this guy Cremp, C-R-E-M-P, who no one knows who it is, started dropping subs on the channel. And it wasn't like
and
five
he's complaining
subs,
about this?
5 subs, then 5 subs, then 10 subs, then like more. It kept coming. I think at the end it was like 24 subs or something like that. So I shouted out and I say, thank you.
So that's like $125.
People are saying, hey, Cremp is ICS. You know,
listen, I just want to say, if you want to drop $125 worth of gifted memberships or subs, I will not be abusive and nasty. Like, listen to this guy. Somebody dropped $125 worth of subs and he started yelling at the guy that he had to reveal his identity. Mario Kosick says, one for the double goal. Yes, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Big ups. Big ups.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
Thank you, Mario Kosick. I hope I'm saying that right. Who's a big-time show supporter I've noticed for quite some time now, and thank you. Duty Streams is here. Let me go over and make Duty Streams a mod over in my live chat. If I can catch up to this. I just saw you. Oh, there you go. Okay. You are now modded. Use your wrench well, Duty Streams. I'm stealing your clips. I did tell everybody to go over and subscribe to your channel. So thank you for letting me steal your... I'm restreaming your restream.
Chef Sakai. That we have evidence that it's Iron Chef Sakai. So I'm not really entertaining it, but I just say to Kremp, hey, well, let's just get the answer from the horse's mouth. Hey, Kremp, are you Iron Chef Sakai? Now, you would think he would have been just like, if he's not Iron Chef Sakai, you think he would have been like, no, I'm not.
Nobody has to do anything you say, Phil.
Instead, he goes, oh, I don't answer peasants. What? What does that mean? Is that insulting me? Is that insulting the other
he doesn't
viewers?
want
like,
it to be ICS because
then he says,
ICS mods
a year.
Okay.
So doing this kind of stuff is
Did
nothing.
I make ICS
me.
a mod?
Like he's saying all this messed up stuff, insulting everyone in chat and me basically. And I'm like, I hate to tell you this, Kremp, but I've been there, done that. Like, I've been through this before with other people.
Bro, you gave me $150. I know you got a big bank account. Send it all to me.
A bunch of money,
I play WWE.
Shit, and they try to like control the streams and stuff. I'm not putting up with that crap. So I asked him straight up. I said, "What's your deal?" And basically, he once again was like, "Oh, you know, you're all peasants and stuff like that." So I said, "All right, you know what? I banned him." And I said,
Duty
"I don't need your money."
Channel link
and I
is
took
in
it
the
off the
Discord.
leaderboard. And I said, "I guarantee you, this is probably Iron Chef Sakai." And that, or else they would have said he wasn't, right? And likely this is going to be a chargeback because, as I said, I've never experienced a chargeback before on Kick, but it outright says right on your payment page where you says how much you're getting, you know, for a week.
ICS gave money to the casino, and that's unforgivable. He gave money to me too.
Minus chargeback.
He's always welcome here.
Meaning
he wailed out over here one night.
Possible on Kick. It wouldn't say that on their own page if they weren't, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. He doesn't include troll tips.
That was that, right?
To the King's tax.
And then all of a sudden, over on the YouTube side of things, someone named Kremp, so who knows if it's the same guy or not, starts talking in chat saying, oh, this was a big misunderstanding. And I just, you know, I want to email you. And I said, well, my email is darksydephil@hotmail.com. Email me then. Okay? So there you go.
Yeah, we're going to stream together. We have to work it out.
Ether335, who's someone who actually subscribed to me since November 1st of last year, okay? And so they have followed me and actively been a
Steve
sub
from
on Kick
Australia.
every month since November of last year. They have come and talked in chat. They have actually come and gifted subs many times and never did anything negative. Okay? They come and chat and they dump a 50 sub bomb. The hell?
That's
While all this is
250.
going on with Crimp, all of a sudden Ether shows up and dumps 50 subs. And everyone's staring at it like, what is going on? Like, we're all confused. What is happening?
Why would you
So I
give
said
this
to
man
Ether,
money? Why would you give this man 250?
just so you know,
Come
Ether,
on.
not that I want to, what do they say? Don't look in the horse's mouth or whatever. But basically, this is so weird that this is happening as a coincidence right now when
Mario
Crimp was
Kart.
doing these subs, and I
was
got rid of him, and now all of a
glorious.
sudden you show up, and you're going to dump this now. And he says, oh, it was a mistake. I actually meant to do 5, but I misclicked, and it's 50. So FYI, you may not see me for a while because I just gifted way too many from what I wanted to do. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but all right. I mean, I'll count it because this is someone who I said, that's right, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. That's the saying, right? So
Oh, that's
at
interesting.
that
So
time,
he's
I'm
a
like,
Kino
okay,
Casino
I'll count it
tourist.
or whatever. But then it was weird.
Don't look a
because,
gift
like I
horse in
said,
the mouth. Pig
Ether
roach.
was on Kick talking. Crimp was
Oh,
on
thank
YouTube
you.
talking. And all of a sudden, their talk mannerisms were almost exactly the same.
10 for
Like
the
Crimp was saying,
goal.
bro, and then Ether was saying, bro. I'm like, what is
Thank you very much. And Duty Streams is here. Go subscribe to his channel. It says, big up, Steve, for the goal. Feel free to use anything on my channel. Same goes for me. Anything on my channel, you're free to clip and use or do whatever you want with it. Hope everyone in chat is doing well. Well, thank you. And by the way, I'm sure I mentioned it a bunch of times, but you haven't been here during it. I stole the image that I used to make the Beggar Phil bumpers. These Beggar Phil. I think Duty told me about the soundboard of Darkside Phil that's searchable. So there's a soundboard of Darkside Phil, and you could search for money or whatever. And so I stole this image that Duty made of, I call it Bumside Phil image. And then I used the soundboard that I think Duty told me about to make these bumpers. So thank you for that as well, Duty.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
It's Bumside Phil, Duty. It's Bumside Phil. And you got to come on my show sometime and we'll just wreck them together. Or you know what we could do? We could do an old school simulcast. Like you host and I'll just restream it to my channel and we'll be on both channels at once. Or pigpiggo.net. Yeah. But the soundboard is better because I could just take the MP3 files and drag them into the animator to animate your image. Yeah, we should do that, Duty. We'll work it out.
What's going on? And the thing,
because then we don't have to worry about. I know some streamers when they collab, they split it, and that's kind of, my wife's an accountant. She's not. This is going to be a pain in the ass. You just stream on your channel, keep your support and call it out. I'll stream on my channel, keep my support and call it out, or something like that. I think that'd be the best way to do it. And then we're the worst guy to ask to do a show or collab is somebody that has their own channel and show to worry about. But if we both just one of us just restreams it, you can make all the momentum. In that case, you're hired, Duty, next week. Right?
is I just want to play GTA 4. This is what I mean. I think the goal of people who do this kind of stuff, they want to hijack content. They want to be like, I was the highlight of the night because I got so-and-so streamer just talking about me.
No, you moron. People, if they're going to support your show, they just want recognition. They want to be recognized for their support, you moron. And instead of thanking and recognizing this person, you interrogated them because you're a paranoid, schizo, delusional weirdo.
And see, they didn't actually get a lot of gameplay in tonight, or they didn't do what they wanted to do on stream tonight. They just talked about
Kick
me all
exclusive.
night.
Yeah. Well,
That's
let's
what Two
do
Comedy
Kick
used to do
exclusive.
ages
Yeah.
ago. Like, you wanted to make it all about him.
Even
God,
Duty
why aren't you
collab,
talking to me?
let's
Why aren't you
go.
responding to me? Why aren't you playing the game?
Hell
Why aren't you
yeah.
playing? Why aren't you,
That would rock.
ridiculous. So, anyway, here's how I left it. I said, there's no way to tell what's going on here. Is Crimp Iron Chef Sakai? Is Ether Iron Chef Sakai? Are either Iron Chef Sakai?
He did hijack the
I don't
stream.
know.
Good.
Are they actually the same person? Are they not?
Because fuck them. That's why.
I don't know. Okay? But here's the deal.
He's on the
Contributions are
police
contributions.
list for mentally
If they
unstable people.
stick,
Yes,
they stick.
he's a
So
220.
I get paid every Thursday for whatever I do during that week.
I could not believe that this clown lied and said that the 220 thing, there was no evidence for it and it never happened. Like, Phil, there's an audio recording of the woman cop who said you were a 220. There's an audio recording of her on the record saying that she labeled you a 220. And he tells his dents, they just made it all up. There's no evidence whatsoever. They just totally made that up. There's no evidence of that. There's a goddamn audio recording, you lying scumbag.
On Kick, okay? The cutoff is actually like, what do you call it? Tuesday, like halfway through Tuesday. So basically, by the end of Tuesday, I usually know.
Yeah, by the end of Tuesday, I need you all you guys to get all your donos in by the end of Tuesday so that I can get all that money on Thursday. Like, this is crackhead level shit, you know? Like, this is like payday advance ghetto, like crackhead level of needing money.
Oh, what I'm going to make for that week. So if there's no chargebacks this week by Tuesday, and if I actually get paid, I'll know Thursday, like
tip goal for tonight is
$220,
$220, guys.
Whatever.
Yes, 220.
Then
Duos says
we're all good.
220.
I've already counted Ether's contributions towards the streams, which is why we're now at 14 out of 20. And like I said, what we're going to do, as long as we don't get any chargebacks.
There's also, there's an
week,
audio recording,
GTA
and then there's
4
also a written
will
record.
Actually be a daytime stream.
And he's saying there's no
Okay,
evidence of this
100%.
whatsoever. No
and
evidence.
Once we beat the story, we will start the Ballad of Gay Tony. So that's a combination of people who were here last night and contributed,
so you don't
and
get your
Ether
legs
who made that
broken
happen.
by Paul.
Okay.
He has done that many times. Like, listen, guys, I had to take the whole week off last week and I lost a lot of money. So I need you to get your donos in by Tuesday because Kick pays me on Thursday. And Duty, like, how do they let him get paid by the hour to stream on Kick when they won't let me? Like, I can take subs, but I don't get paid by, you know, I guess he's at the next tier or level of creator on Kick than me. But, I don't know. Like, I hope when I start this new show, they're going to give that deal to me, because that one's going to be the new show. The Internet Insanity Circus is going to be a Kick exclusive show, which, by the way, will be starting in a couple of weeks. I know I've been saying that forever, but it is what it is. Quality content takes time.
So Ether is here. While Ether is here, why don't we ask? Ether, number one, you 100% saying you are not this Kremp guy from last night, correct? You're saying you're not him. And you are saying you're not Iron Chef Sakai. Are these true statements, or am I wrong? Let's get some clarification, because they're in the chat right now.
So the guy gives him like hundreds of dollars, and now he's going to interrogate him, put him on the spot, and demand he answer these interrogation questions from DARKSYDEPHIL.
He says this is true. Okay, so both statements are true.
Yeah,
He's
2 more weeks.
He's not either
Trust
person.
the plan.
Like I said, Ether has been around since
I
November.
really need that money.
That's before I think
really,
even
really
Iron Chef
do.
Sakai
Plays
was
the
actively
cash.
doing stuff. I want to say that Iron Chef Sakai came around like
he
late
had
November,
the bare
December,
minimal for partner.
became a mod in like December, and that's when he kind of
I have no luck,
weirdo.
Duty. I got 15 live viewers over there, but I'm thankful for them, and I'm thankful for the Kick support, because for those that don't know, Kick takes a very small percentage of the donations from the content creator, and other channels, I'm not allowed to make disparaging comments, take 30%. And you can guess, right? I'm not going to say anymore, but I love the Kick supporters, and I'm so thankful and grateful, even if there's only 15 or 50 or whatever viewers. It's different every time we stream, because the support over there goes a long way. And I feel like I always feel like since Kick, we get an extra paycheck in the month. In other words, it feels like instead of getting 4 paychecks in a month, I'm getting 5. I get like 1 more week's pay throughout the month if I'm lucky. So thank you all for the Kick support. Is much appreciated.
Like I said, we'll see what happens. If there's no chargebacks, then we're all good, and next week we're good to go. Next week will be a balance.
I love that people give him money and then they charge it back, mostly because he seethes about it and he gets so mad. And I don't know, part of me, I can understand why he gets so mad because he's thinking, I got $500 in support on this day, and then somebody charges back like 350 of it. He gets so mad. Duty Stream says, but I believe Broside Phil contacted the officer again and managed to get the officer's written report from the conversation with Phil, and then she went to his home. Yeah, I'll see if I can't get that paperwork from him, Duty, and if I do, I will forward it along to you. We should all be sharing that to counteract his retconning and saying that this never happened. There's no evidence.
Between Suikoden 2 HD and GTA 4, Lost and Damned, and we're also going to be doing multiplayer of Gears of War when it comes out on the 26th. Okay, so that's the idea for next week. The variety of streams, because that's Tuesdays.
Oh, very exciting, Phil. You know, when I worked in corporate America in a let's just say customer facing role where I had to talk to a lot of customers, and we had a term that wasn't 220, it was AAA. And that was for a customer that is an asshole that gives me agita and anxiety. We would call certain customers AAA, and we had notes in the computer for the customer notes. We would put real big at the top, AAA, so that if somebody else took a call from that customer, they would know right away that this guy's an asshole. And once I had to give the paperwork, the customer notes to a customer that requested them. They wanted all the notes on the account because of some kind of payment issue. And they were trying to say, oh, I did call in and I did pay on time when they didn't. Anyway, I had to try to come up with an alternate explanation for the customer of what AAA meant at the top of their notes. What's this AAA I see on every call?
Tuesday is when
I told them that it meant AAA rated customer. That means you're a great customer. You're good to work with. They bought it too.
The Gears of War remake comes out or whatever, and I'm more interested in the multiplayer than the campaign. I think I'm just going to do some multiplayer sessions and see how they go. If they go well, then that'll be multiplayer to put into the rotation.
I love how if the game doesn't do well with money, it's the game's fault.
Okay.
It's always the game's fault.
And the good news is that will now free up for night streams.
The best customer you give the most attention to. That is right, Glow in the Dark. I couldn't believe they bought it. My boss even said, great job.
You see, now either you have to understand
great job.
something.
Deflecting
Anything you
that
say in my
one,
chat is microanalyzed.
My boss knew
by
what AAA
stalker
really
trolls.
meant.
So, for example, one of them right now is in YouTube chat and says, ask Ether why it was okay to make fun of your paranoia in post-stream chat when you have been consistently trolled like this for years. I don't know what you said in post-stream chat because I don't have paranoia. I'm not like stalking the chat. I have no idea what you said. But they probably recorded every word you've ever said in chat, and they have like a fucking running tally of it. And then what they'll do is they'll cross-reference that with other things.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
They're insane, these people. They do this crazy level of shit. It's just wild. You thought it was hilarious that I thought you were ICS? Well, you have to understand.
People love to hate him. Yes, they do. That's what you get for being a big Phil donor. You get interrogated and you get, accused of things. Like, that dude should never donate a penny to him again. I know if I occasionally throw a super chat at a creator to be supportive, but I'm poor, so I don't do it very often. But when I do, if I don't have at least a decent experience, I will never super chat that creator ever again for the rest of my life, right? Ever. I don't know. I hold a grudge.
ICS has actually come back multiple times with multiple accounts and tried to do this again, where I'm going to pretend I'm someone else and I'm going to gift subs and I'm going to try to get in Phil's good graces just so I can try to,
he's so boring. They need to make fun the hard way.
He's done it multiple times.
It's not that Phil just sucks.
It's not the first time, too. I've been through this rodeo before.
The audience isn't enjoying it. Yeah. In other words, they're not donating enough.
I make it abundantly clear on my streams. I am in charge. What I say goes. No one gets to buy a say on the stream. I contributed, so now.
Yeah. That's why he takes so many donations, and so many people in his audience are PDF files. I forgot to mention it during the last pig roast here, but I'll show you that next.
I'm immune to the rules and I dictate how everything, goes. That's not how it works. Okay? It's not.
Yeah, right.
I'm not someone to be
He'll do
bought.
anything the whale
So-
says to do. Nobody can dictate what happens on his streams. Do you remember when he was streaming with PPP? PPP was making him show everybody his underwear. They were making him do push-ups live on stream. They were making him show his socks and his underwear to the audience, and he was doing it. Everything that PPP told him to do, he would do it, right? Master Betty with another one says he's mad Iron Chef Sakai won't hide his D. His identity? I don't know. Yes, please do. Thank you, Master Betty, for hearing the call of the goal. PPP had him under his boot. I don't think I never said this live. I've never admitted this, but when I had to do that interview, I go to PPP, and it was very awkward, like exchange of messages. I said, P, like, you know what I do, right? Like, have you seen some of my interviews where I felt the person I'm interviewing? Like, do you understand what I'm going to do to him? And PPP told me to put him on the fucking cross. He's like, I've had enough of this clown. Put him on the fucking cross. And I'm like, all right, just as long as you understand what's going to happen here. That's why I was so nervous. I was a little. I'm not usually nervous during an interview, but that one I was nervous, mostly because I didn't want to let the Keno boys down. I'm like, they told me to put him on the fucking cross. I gotta crucify this bitch. I totally gotta crucify this bitch. I have to wreck him, and wreck him good, because PPP told me to put him on the fucking cross. And just to be clear, like, I never talked to Andy about it. I only talked to PPP because he set the interview up. Duty says you did great. Yeah, I was so happy when that interview was over and everybody was restreaming it and saying how great I did. How could you do that to the king, Steve? You backstabbing snake bastard. See you next week. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that. That was pretty funny. And yeah, all right. Well, he's eating his own fingers here. I notice he does that a lot. That's like a nervous
Like a
tick.
dry piece of skin that's bothering me on my finger. Hate when that happens.
Then take a break and get a nail file, you disgusting pig. You don't just bite it off during a live stream.
So anyway, like I said, let's see what happens. But I'm hopefully I'm feeling good about. Like I said,
his underwear had skid marks.
And Ether has
Yes,
also never
it did.
caused drama.
After that interview, I knew the end was near for Phil. Yeah, so did I. I kind of took it as that. I knew they were going to break up. But I was impressed that PPP and Andy were able to hold on for a little bit longer. Like, no, man, he snaked you. We didn't want him to do that. We really didn't want him to do that. And I'm laughing in the background going, you told me to fucking put him on the cross, PPP. You told me to put him on the cross. You needed PPP to play along just enough to make Phil do a polygraph. Had PPP tell him he needs to clear his reputation or they will drop him. Oh, and yeah, let's address that. Just so everybody is aware, the first thing that PPP did when I told him that I had a polygraph machine, he said, do you know how to work it? And I go, oh yeah, I've been working on it for like, I don't know, 6 months or a year. I joined the Polygraphers Association. I got some books on polygraphs. I've been testing different people on it. And like when I would test on the polygraph, I would tell people, I'm going to ask you a bunch of just random questions. And I want you to lie to me and mark when you lie. And sometimes I want you to tell me the truth and mark when you tell the truth on this sheet of questions, so that I can check how accurate I am at reading this polygraph. I got very good at being incredibly accurate at it. And I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. So PPP said, can you give the lie detector to Phil? And I go, yeah, I mean, but I'd have to either get him here at my house or I'd have to go to his house. And PPP said, I will buy you a plane ticket. I will buy you a 4-star hotel. all expenses paid. I'll pay for your meals, and I'll pay you if you come out to Phil's house with me and we do this. And I go, fuck, all right, yeah, let's do it. So it was Phil that wrecked the Dark Side Phil lie detector test. It wasn't me. I was willing to do it, and PPP was going to foot the whole bill and then some, right? Yeah, so I just want to take a moment to recognize what degenerates are in Dark Side Phil's live audience. Everyone meet, it's Connie Kins. He runs a Smash Brothers Ultimate Weekly in Laguna Hills, California, in Southern Cali, and he is a PDF file that is into Lolly and the furries. This thread begins when he gave $10 super chat to DSP. His name would lead to his Discord where heinous things were found. Part 2, in his Discord, he says he wants porn drawn of him and Sir Jaden in the next message, which is dated months after his previous message. Sir Jaden states they are a minor. Connie wanted porn with Sir Jaden when they were a minor. So has Phil banned this person from their live chat, this weirdo that's into furries and young boys, or what, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, how many is that now? And there's a clip of him accusing the Kino people of that, right? Just absolutely ridiculous. We'll go to the next one, which is DSP rants about Gamescom. And this one is coming from Snort Hogan, which is, there's 3 clips channels I like. DSP Memology 101, Duty Streams, and Snort Hogan. They have the best clips, so if you're interested in this stuff, go and subscribe over there as well. Yeah, I never thought that I would identify as Duty, I never planned on covering Phil after that interview. I thought it would be one and done. But then I got sucked in. It's like, what? It's like, do you ever drive by a car accident? Like, you don't really want to see blood or people dead or people hurt, but you can't not watch it. You got to see what's going on. I got totally sucked in, and now every day almost, I'm like, oh, let's go see what's going on with this dumbass. Duty Stream says, as a detractor, I never want Phil to succeed. But if you and PPP could have made the detractor made the lie detector work, it could have been a huge win for everyone, including Phil. But he can't ever own the L. I know. And by the way, he was gonna fail that lie detector miserably, because I was going to hit him with documents. I was going to hit him with the bank leaks. I was going to hit him with the jerking off on stream. I was going to hit him with all kinds of stuff, Duty, more than I had. I didn't have time to get to all the dirt in the interview. And I will say this, the stream that I did, the interview stream and the stream that I did with PPP of the aftermath of the breakup was the best money that I've ever made as a content creator. So fuck yeah, I would have been on that plane. I would have been on that plane in a minute. Like, I'm going to get a fat bag for this shit. Get that lie detector. I had the lie detector all ready to go in a briefcase that was going to be in my carry-on, right? Master Betty 123 gifted 1 Truth Seekers membership. And this, my friend, is why you got to hit that subscribe button, because if you're in the live chat and a kind and generous soul like Master Betty 123 gives a membership, you could win one for free. And that is exactly what happened. Arlene got a free gifted membership. Who's our mod, but thank you for that. And I always mean to tell you, Arlene, just send me like where I could send a PayPal, and I'll pay for your membership for being a mod here. But thank you, Master Betty 123, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much appreciated.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
All right. So let's go to this clip. And how are we doing on time? Pretty good. All right. We've got time to get through this one.
Something, brother.
Snort.
You think he cried when Hulk Hogan died?
Code.
I bet you he did. And he missed his opportunity. That's another thing. PPP was going to pay for him to go and meet Hulk Hogan at Hogan's Bar in Florida, and he said no. Who turns down a free vacation? Then he started talking about, talk about paranoid. He was worried that he was going to get, robbed and raped, or, what? SA'd. I'm sorry. YouTube doesn't like that word. I apologize to the YouTube AI algorithm. they don't like that word and a bunch of other words. I'm always like, you know what term I really don't like? Unalived.
Snort. I got the drip.
And there's a reason people
As I
use that
said,
term.
Right now, the world is watching Gamescom.
Yeah, he said he
But
never had
you
any
might
regrets.
say, I don't understand.
Oh, okay.
Why
well,
are
I owe you the dollar.
watching Gamescom, Phil? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I watched Summer Game Fest
Yeah,
live,
people
and
say
after
you
how
give 'em
boring
money.
and
I didn't
waste of
think you
time
did,
that
though,
was,
Duty.
I'm never doing that again. I mean it too. Like for many, many years, people all yelled at me.
Yeah, he never cared
And they said,
about Hulk
Phil,
Hogan.
why don't you live react to E3? And I said, because I don't think that there's anything added to live
Great.
reacting.
Yeah.
If I just watch E3 and I
yeah,
take a
he
whole bunch
did.
of notes,
On a recent
and then
Kino
after
show, they
E3,
said
I
he was
can
going to
talk about
R
in a
Phil's
video, hey,
ass.
here's what I thought was the best and worst of E3 with, actual
anybody
insight, because I took a few
let me
minutes to
stop
think about
this.
everything.
Did anybody see that Kino show recently? PPP said he was going to pay 10 black guys to take turns on Phil's rectum. Sandy Q is here with one for the goal, saying, thanks for all you do. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It's much, much appreciated.
Throw money at me.
Yes, throw some more, Sandy Q, but big ups and thanks for the support. Much, much appreciated. He said he was going to roast Ket over fire, too. Yeah, somebody was going to eat her butt. Yeah, Duty streams. I get how people could assume that maybe you're giving him money just to felt him so you have material. I have tremendous sympathy for Duty and some of these other people who that's all they do is felt Phil every day. Like I can't even really get over that I'm doing this once a week or once every 2 weeks. No, I never give him money, says Duty. Phil told PPP I was an Argentina detractor. I simply leaned into his paranoia. Oh, that is correct, right? Super chat him tonight and trigger him during the chill Minecraft. You know what we did here? Duty, is that I had my entire audience sending him PayPal pennies, telling him to stop begging like a crackhead. And, that was pretty funny. Of course, I doxed my address by accident on the screen share, right? There's way better ways to troll him. I totally agree. Yeah. People were mad at me, Duty, for throwing. I think I sent him like 20 pennies. People were mad at me for giving him the 20 cents. I'm like, it's okay. I can afford the 20 cents because we visibly had him shook during the live stream. He was checking in with the donos, with the tips, and you could see him on screen sweating and getting pissed off because everybody in my live chat was sending him pennies. That's what you do to a beggar. You throw pennies at them.
I always felt like that was more important, more informative, and just more useful to an audience than live reacting to the show on a stream. I did it many, many years like that. And then a couple of years ago, as I was starting to change my content and listen
No, live reacting is always better, Phil. You're a moron.
to feedback and things like that, there was an actual desire for me
I
to
swear
do it
he's
live.
got
So I
throat
did
cancer
about
or
2
something.
years
He
in a row now.
grunts so much.
I've live reacted to things like the Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Showcase.
Spaniard
To
and
be
Portuguese.
quite honest with all of you, it doesn't do
Close
anything.
enough.
When I usually do this, attendance is low.
Oh, well, thank you for
engagement is
subscribing
low,
to the
support
Clips
is
channel.
low,
If you
and the
haven't
videos
already,
don't get many views.
please subscribe to the
I'd
Clips
much
channel.
rather
Links
just do a regular
are
show, and
pinned
like I
in
said,
both
if something
chats.
happens, that's of note.
Yes,
For example,
it's wholesome family
Resident Evil
content throwing
Requiem
pennies at a
may
pig. Yes.
actually have some gameplay today. Well, if that happens during Gamescom, great. I'll watch it.
Arlene's having
In fact,
trouble
if it
getting
happens
through
during
these
this
streams of
podcast,
DSP.
I'll stop the podcast and we can go watch
Yeah.
it because you know what's going to happen. They're going to drop the trailer immediately. It's not like Gamescom has exclusive access to this content. It will immediately go right on the internet for us to watch together. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of saying, oh, so today I'm not going to do a podcast so we can live react and we sit here for 2 hours bored out of our minds like we usually are when we do this. Instead,
Yeah, everybody watching you is bored out of their minds, Phil. That's the normal course of things.
I'm going about my normal business. All right. So I get it. If you're not here live and you're watching this on demand after because you're like, well, Phil, I
Constant
had to watch
grunting and
Gamescom.
swallowing
Here's
snot.
what I want you to ask
Yeah.
yourself.
Pennies
In
too
the
much for Phil.
hour and a half, 2 hours you just spent watching Gamescom, how much of that was worth your time
You know what we ought to do? I ought to get like $100 worth of pennies and just start mailing him like 1 penny a day or something to his. No, maybe that's too much. I personally don't care how anyone detracts. If someone wants to give Phil money, it's their money. I have no right to tell anybody how to spend their cash. Yeah, I remember on Twitter when people were accusing you of that. Like, well, how dare you give money to Phil? You're helping him. And you were like, I
Or do you
didn't.
feel like you were sitting around waiting most of that time? I'm willing to bet the vast majority of that audience that's
He is so boring, this guy. Level 1.
watching it are going to be like,
That's right, Phil. You never got past level 1.
well, we were hoping for something big and it didn't happen. Like, for example,
You know what I'm amazed at? Like, Duty streams, what are you getting? Like 500 live viewers, 800 live viewers? And you watch Phil and he gets like 150 live viewers. And he's been doing this for 20 years. Steven, you should consult the Kino Boys on how to improve the visibility of your clips channel. Theirs has absolutely exploded over the last year, and I'm sure they have some good tips. Yeah, I will. I'll ask them for some advice. I appreciate. I already asked them for advice on the Internet Insanity show on Kick. Right, giving him pennies on PayPal and then doing chargebacks is pretty funny. That would be good. There would be a serious USPS charge for harassment. It's a joke, man. Yeah, 600 to 800. How is Duty getting 600 to 800 live viewers? How long you been doing your show, Duty? And how long? Phil has been at this like 17, 18 years, right? If you harass him, he can maybe sue. That's a joke. It's a practical joke. It's not harassment, but okay.
Are the announcements that have happened so far this morning? There's a sequel to Lords of the Fallen. Wait, what? I thought there already was. Well, there is. Because there was Lords of the Fallen, then there was Lords of the Fallen. I'm not kidding. They released the same game twice. The first one was awful. The second one was a redo of it that was not as awful. And now they made a sequel.
I agree. You don't have to do much. Just watch.
Silk Song.
And wait for it.
Hollow Knight Silk Song is coming out, but doesn't have a release date. They're actually going to talk about it on Thursday. So you waited till Gamescom to announce you have to wait 2 more days. Guess what? There's a new Lego Batman game coming out.
I love how he's always busting balls on the video game developers. Like, Phil, where's your games that you developed? You know, oh, they took too long, or the game's too much fluff.
Okay. And the guy who's presenting it is freaking out on stage, acting like it's the
Spot
best
is
thing
meaningful,
ever. It's the
yeah.
first time there's ever... No, there's been like 3. This is like the 3rd or 4th one. So why are we acting like it's groundbreaking and it's the first one?
You are correct, Blazing Mad.
Welcome to Gamescom.
And Jin, yeah.
See my point? And I'm not trying to be overly negative. I'm just saying, like, these digital events don't need to exist. All that needs to happen is these game companies say, okay, during this week, we're all going to drop our trailers. We're all going to have this little documentary about how we made the game, and then we drop the trailer.
Yeah, and I just want to explain, we've been still switching back and forth between StreamYard and the other software. I'm using the other software tonight, so the Kick Live chat doesn't aggregate to my live chat. But Rex Holes 689 is there and said, Phil had such an opportunity to grab the bag, own his L's, and rebound with support with Kino Casino. But he had to be a king snake, all right. Get it. Yeah, he could have grabbed such a big bag. That would have been... Could you imagine the live stream of Darkside Phil taking a lie detector test? And PPP and Andy would be there with me while I administered the test, and then we'd get the test result. It would have been amazing content. And by the way, I have a special needs son that I'm the primary caretaker of, and he's very handicapped. He needs 24/7 supervision. So to get a few days to fly out to Washington would have been a major, major hassle for me. But I said I would do it. I would have figured, we would figure it out, right? Yeah, look at Boogie and Wings, still locales, but making bank. Yeah, like, God bless them, I don't know. Except for the Boogie faking cancer, I don't know much about why Wings and him are locales. Same for Review Tech. Like, Review Tech is a mess, though, I'll tell you that. People want me to cover him, and I tried to get into it. The guy's doing like ASMR streams with his shirt off and his big fat man tits hanging out. Like, I don't want to watch that. I can't. It's bad. Yeah, Phil should make his own game where you pay to hear him beg. Literally every single thing they pitched for you, Locale Live would have boosted everyone's numbers massively, and it didn't happen because of Phil's ego. It's one of those things, man. I was pissed off that it didn't happen because I knew it was going to be a big fat bag for everybody.
And there you go.
And honestly, I could use a big fat bag of cash again.
There doesn't need to be one focal point event. If anything, we learned that when E3 went defunct, right? When E3 shut down.
No, I don't. I'm not. I don't know the lore on him at all.
Did things just not come out? Did no one play video games?
Yeah, Phil did say Cat had cancer.
Actually, remember, it's the opposite. When E3 shut down and there was no focal point for this kind of stuff, guess what happened? Games sold more than ever. Now, of course, that was because of COVID, but I'm going to spin it like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Darkside Phil, video game expert. You know what? My favorite clip of Review Tech USA is when he bought a fucking triangle. And, like, he's the most unoriginal guy I've ever seen. Like, he's wearing the same hats that Phil wears. He's playing the same games that Phil plays. Then he bought a triangle, that triangle that PPP uses to do retard alert. And he just started trying. He couldn't even get it to make it sound. He's so retarded. Like, oh, buddy, right? Whoa, buddy is right.
I'm going to spin it like it was a coincidence, right? Anyway. I hope that you're all here ready to chill, because today's going to be a chill day.
Yeah, he's got looks podcast, like a hot girlfriend,
talking about various
right?
topics. And like
I don't know much about him.
Gamescom does have some interesting information that we want to talk about, we'll talk about it. You guys, in fact, let me know, because I'm sure many of you will be like, "Oh yeah, so Resident Evil Requiem gameplay just dropped. You go watch the trailer now." It's like 5
Look at that. That's the closest he's gotten to a pussy in years.
minutes. Okay. I'll do that live today. That works
Suffer,
for me.
wife's vagina.
Other than that, I'm not going to sit here and spend 2 hours boring, reacting to garbage. It's fluff. It's crap. And here's our co-host, the well-known esports.
Yeah,
host.
I've heard that about him.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Like, how dumb can you be, dude? Like, even if they're inactive subscribers, they still get the notifications, most of them, when you do a show. Like, why would you delete a 1 million sub channel? That is the most retarded thing I've ever heard of. I would never delete my own channel, and we've only got just under 20,000. And I've been building this channel for years. There's no way I would ever delete it. Why would you do that? That means you just waste it. Like, how many times, not very often, but on every stream I say, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. Like thousands and thousands of times I have put that energy out to the universe to try to get people to subscribe. Why would you delete your whole channel? That's like all that effort to build is just wasted then.
No one does. What are you talking about?
He's so boring. All right, he's going to start. I should have fast forwarded to the first 5 minutes. He's just ranting about this event he doesn't want to cover, but people want him to cover.
Yes, Jasper Kitty is here with us today, if you can't tell.
Yep, closest to pussy he's been in a year.
There we go. And I'm raring to go. I'm ready to go today. I want to get you caught up on everything that's going on. All right, and I obviously want to talk about the schedule.
I think he did,
up.
Master
So
Betty.
FYI,
Yeah.
there's one update that everyone wants to know, and they're like, Phil, so what's going on in regards to next week? Are we doing
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with his
GTA
lore. I got to watch some
DLC,
documentaries.
The Ballad of Gay Tony or not? Because this seems to have been in limbo for a couple of days, right? And the only update I have for you guys is so far there's no update, meaning there's nothing good or bad to report.
Yeah, and this is another thing. He wonders why he struggles for support so much. If the audience is consistently asking you as a show host to do something, you do it. I start that Clips channel because everybody kept asking me to start the Clips channel, but I didn't want to do it because I knew it was going to be shit tons of work and you weren't going to get paid for the first year or whatever it takes to build the Clips channel. But I did it. If people constantly ask me to cover a certain subject, I research the subject and we cover it here, or UFO story or whatever. Oh, Dickers got caught doing click fraud on his video ads and panicked. I didn't know that. Yeah, YouTube does not like people who bot. That is a surefire way to get demonetized.
Contributions that came in during the GTA 4 stream the other night have, they're still there. No chargebacks or anything like that. I won't know for sure until like Thursday. Once Thursday happens, if I get paid, great. I'm down for it. Like, I want to do the Ballad of Gay Tony. I'm not sold that we're going to have a ton of people showing up for it because GTA 4 kind of fell off, when it came to...
Because you're so boring, and who's playing GTA 4 still on live streams? I mean, I don't know. When I watch a gaming stream, when I am interested in a new game that just came out, not years later, right? I'm not watching somebody play a years old game. He's constantly late to the party.
To those streams for whatever reason. But we'll see. I've only played Ballad of Gay Tony once ever. So now being my second time, maybe it'll actually do really well. I'd be down for that. I remember really liking it.
Oh,
and I remember
okay,
you
that makes
guys
sense.
really liking it. Of course, they say you guys.
All right, this makes sense.
It was like 12 years ago.
Because if you get caught botting, they will never let you have a YouTube channel again. If you get demonetized, you can't just start a new channel and get monetized again. You can never be monetized again. At least that's my understanding. Nobody watches Phil because he is boring and whiny, and Phil's gameplay is trash as well. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm not much of a gamer. My son is, and I can tell you this, my son can beat him at every game I've ever seen him play and play the games better than him. And my son's 9 years old. So what does that tell you about Phil? 17 years practicing games and he still sucks at gameplay.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that many of the people who were watching my content back then aren't watching it today. And many of you who are watching today weren't watching back then. You know what I'm saying? So, but it'll be cool to play it again for only the second time. I certainly hope that you guys will come by and hang out next week.
I don't think I've ever played the missions in GTA 4.
These contributions
I just drive around and shoot people in the head.
If there was going to be a chargeback, you'd already see it. But I don't know.
He loves saying
I guess
Gay
we'll see.
Tony.
I think it's legit. Although there is some suspect stuff. For example, that person who at first dropped those 24 subs the other day during that GTA 4 stream. His name's Kremps, okay? And then we suspected that he was actually, Iron Chef Sakai or whatever. Hold on one second. What is this trash? It is trash. Okay.
You're right. He is gay and bald.
And he said that he was going to email me about it. Oh, so he did. FYI. But let me just put it this way. It wasn't a very good email.
The bank heist. I did play that.
It wasn't a good, I don't even want to say discussion because it wasn't much of a discussion. But basically, the guy emailed me claiming that he really is a fan. And to prove it, can we have a private conversation via like a voice call or a video call? To which I responded, no. No. Just because you dropped a bunch of subs.
So the guy dropped 24 subs, right? 24 subs is $120. If anybody wants to have a voice call with me or a phone call with me, yeah, drop 24 subs. I'll do it. Like, how ungrateful could you be? And also, you were accusing this guy and interrogating him and accusing him of being someone he's clearly not. Why would you not want the voice call so that you would know he's not Iron Chef Sakai, right? From what I heard, Rich received an email about unusual activity on his channel. That can mean a lot of things like botting or spam or watching your own ads on your videos. Yeah, Duty, I once had a guest on my show who is an egomaniac. And like, he fakes his... The best way I could say it is, and this is not on this channel, it was on my previous channel. And I was doing an audio podcast called The Midnight Hour. And on average, we would get like a few thousand views for each podcast episode. And then I had this guest and we got something crazy like 50,000 views. He bought it. He bought it, the show that he was on my channel, because his ego, he wants people to think that all these people tune in for him. He bought it them. I'm sure he did. You know, I have a background in computer science. There's no reason that he, you know, and then I heard from other show hosts that he had done that to them. That's the worst thing you could do to a content creator, is to bot an appearance you did on their show, because they're going to suffer the consequences for it, not you, you know? Crazy. And the guy basically admitted he did that. Oh, I was trying to help your show and help your, yeah, you're not helping. You're going to fuck my whole channel.
On my stream.
I deleted the show.
Doesn't mean now you purchased a video call with me. Like, do you see what I'm saying about this kind of contribution and why I question it? The guy comes by the stream, he drops us a bunch of subs during GTA 4.
Xbox 360 days, yeah.
Question him because people were saying, oh, that's ICS, right? That's Iron Chef Sakai.
Rich definitely bots.
Well, let's ask him. And instead of answering, saying no, he says, oh, you're just a bunch of peasants and I don't have to answer you because I make $200,000 a year. And I'm like, wait, what? What kind of a reaction is that? So then I say to him,
yeah, that's crazy.
Sorry, you can't derail
So one of Phil's supporters paid him $500 and asked him to play Mario Kart with him. Phil then berated him, and then the casino offered it to Ken for free. Yeah, because the casino aren't scumbags. And, you know, listen, if somebody sends me $500 with a simple request like that, fuck yeah, I will make time for any audience member that's that much of a supporter. And by the way, I have routinely done StreamYard calls or Skype, or even given people my cell phone number because they just wanted to talk to me about something. You got to appreciate the audience and the supporters, or you're a scumbag.
I stream, your contributions don't count.
No, like Phil is like an entitled snobby bitch. Like, do you realize that some people work all week to get a paycheck for $300 or $500, and you could just get a dono for 500 in one shot? Why not play the game with the guy? What's it take to do a Mario Kart game? 20 minutes, 10 minutes? I don't even know.
And I ban him. And then the guy emails me and says, hey, can we have a private video call? No. So, yeah, you know. Yeah, it's kind of a weird, don't you think?
Could it be OIC? Ha ha ha.
Anyway, so FYI, as of now, no chargebacks. It definitely looks like at least Ether,
bullshit.
Who did
he turned down Boyd. Boyd gave him
$1,000
in subs. All he wanted was a co-op.
It looks like that
Call of Duty Zombies.
is probably legit. And as long as
again,
that
I would have done
yes,
that for that kind of
GTA
support.
4. Finishing
your
it
night
as a
off.
daytime
Have a
stream
couple
next to
beers
the main
with one of
story,
your viewers,
and then we're going into the Ballad of Gay Tony DLC.
I've had some great calls and interactions with some of my viewers, and I have a crazy audience. Like, we've got a lot of weird people in my audience, and I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm a weird person. I like weird people. Like, I like artists and musicians and content creators and video editors and photographers and you know, models and, you know, musicians and songwriters. Anybody that's artistic in any way, I get along very well with, right? All for $8 or something an hour. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Phil avoided the call because he knows his fans are either dented or diddlers. I did it for free. I did a co-op streams of COD with Void simply because he asked. Yeah, I would do it. I would definitely do it if somebody asked me, you know.
Okay. Cabal in chat just said, Kirby Air Raiders looks like Sakurai should have invested his time into a new Smash Brothers, to be honest. The thing is,
I got a lot of weird requests too. Like, somebody wanted my set pieces once, and they did donate like a huge chunk of I don't remember what it was. It was like $300, and they wanted something off of my set just as a souvenir because they were a big big fan of the show. I got their address. I sent it to them, you know, and they're still a supporter of the show, by the way. This idiot wonders why he's hemorrhaging support and has to beg like a crackhead. You know, could be all the people you banned, you moron, and people you like, if they're supporters, why are you mistreating the supporters of the show?
we all know what happened with Sakurai.
Being a rude dickhead to them.
The last Smash Brothers burned him out entirely to the point where he doesn't want to make another one. Like seriously, like basically what he said was that the fans were
That's
so
incredible,
rabid
Duty.
when it
I don't
came
know
to
how he does it.
DLCs and demands for the last Smash Brothers that it kind of made him get burned out, and he doesn't want to make another one. He was relieved to not have to make another one. So I don't know about that.
I'm surprised he's doing
Honestly, I
as
think
well as
because
he
the
is.
Smash
I'm
community is
surprised
so
he can
weird,
even do 150
they
a
kinda,
day,
like,
let alone
beat the guy up,
300 some
and
days.
so he's gonna make everything but. Dale is wrinkly says, "Would you let Iron Chef Sakai return if he apologized?" I know.
Well,
he
he can if he's pulling Hogan's all the time and wasting his money on DoorDash and gin.
No, he didn't. That's not true.
He sent empty game
It was
cases
a
to
whole group of
fans.
individuals who were.
Yeah, that's another recent retcon I forgot about. He tried to retcon that and said that the detractors made that up. It never happened. There's a video of you doing it, Phil. There's literally a video of you pitching it and sending an empty video game case. Yeah, Duty, somebody keeps track of all. Isn't there like a tip tracker guy that keeps track of all? This is fascinating about this clown. There's a guy who keeps track of every penny that Darkside Phil makes, and he posts it publicly. Duty would know more about that, right? If Phil even suspects you of trolling him, he will snap at the audience and attempt to embarrass them. It's almost maddening that he still has a legit audience. Yeah. Tales of the Sonic Voyage is here. And by the way, I got to go through your email. I'm going to get one of your songs for the circus, and thank you for that. I tried to pay him to name his Minecraft dog Stephen Cambion. He banned me immediately. That would have been funny as shit. You really did that? That's crazy. Yeah, a few other. That's Piece of Peace that tracks every penny that Phil makes. And a few other Twitter folks track every penny. Wow. Just wow, guys. Just wow. So I noticed somebody asked earlier what's going on with the casino. It's not my place to answer, but I do follow them both on Twitter. And apparently PPP had some internet issues and needed a new router. And that's supposed to be getting sorted out today, I believe. And they'll be back tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. only on Kick. So be sure to check them out. I was a little annoyed because what was it, that one stream they had all the tech issues, and I was really like having a tough day, and I just wanted to laugh and have a good time. So I tuned in, and then they were kind of doing a show, but having all these weird tech issues. So then they even took the VOD down, and then they didn't stream yesterday, I believe, as well. So, but they'll be back tomorrow, I believe. They posted something about it on Twitter. If I can, I'll find it before my stream ends here. And also, people constantly ask me when I'm going back on the Kino Casino, and the answer is whenever they ask me, I will be there. But I don't want to be that needy friend. Like, come on, guys, give me another bump. Come on, guys, give me another. When they ask me, when the locale universe is light on content, that's when they need me. And they had a big lull with Rakita in limbo and all that other stuff that was going on. They didn't have much content. That's why they brought me in, because they needed new content. Right now they got more than enough.
By supporting Soycode N1, it was not him. I don't know where you got that information from. Why don't you do the McDonald's DSP tries it when playing Truck Simulator?
That last one was kind of a mess. Well, tech issues, it happens. Yeah, that was Friday.
No.
Yeah,
try to eat a. Well, actually,
no, I don't want to be like Phil.
Try to eat a quarter pounder while you drive with one hand. And pickles are falling off. Like, it's condiments.
And by the way, I still feel like a certain kind of way, because when PPP came on my show and did that like post-mortem of the Kino arc show and crucified Phil with me, we made crazy money, and I gave half of it to PPP, but I still owe Ashton a bag for all the help and support that both those guys gave me. So I got to figure out a way to get. I'm sorry. When PPP came on, I kind of said, like, this money is crazy. Like, here, take half. And at first he said no, but eventually, I sent it to him. And but I still owe Andy Worski a big fat bag, because I wouldn't have made any of that money if not for both of those guys. So I still feel like, I got a bag to come up with for Andy Worski, right?
Like ketchup and mustard squirting everywhere. Oh man. Now I don't think I want to do that. Plus, the thing is, I do truck sim at night, and I've already eaten dinner. Like I couldn't wait that long. To
Yeah,
eat.
I know they
So
want to have me
hungry
back on. We
if
just
I
have to
waited
work
that
it out.
long
I'm
to
sure
eat
it'll
dinner.
happen
Because I
eventually.
eat early in the morning. Like this morning I ate my breakfast sandwich
Yeah.
at around 10
Yeah,
a.m.
that'd be a good time to do it. Yeah,
And
right around
so
Halloween
imagine
time.
me eating a
Yeah.
breakfast sandwich at 10, and then I don't eat again all day until I eat dinner at like 7:30, 8 o'clock doing the truck sim stream. Dude,
Payola.
I'd be freaking starving, man.
Yeah, I just don't want to be
So no,
Phil
I mean,
or
that's
be
a
that
funny notion, but I don't think
needy
we're gonna do it
guy
then.
that,
But
come on,
speaking of
guys,
that,
help me again.
okay. Speaking of which,
They helped me so much, and almost nobody has helped me. Do you
let's
know
talk about how we're doing.
how
All right,
we're doing? Let's
so-
have the board meeting. Do you know that since I started my show and got monetized, I've gotten 5 other channels monetized. I bumped a bunch of different people, including most recently H-Bomb. H-Bomb needed, I think when I started helping him, he needed 300 or 400 subscribers to get to the magic numbers. And I kept giving him a shout out and a bump and telling people to subscribe until he got there. I did that with 5, 6 people. I've tried to be good, like karmically, and help other people as much as possible. But really, almost nobody helped me build my channel except for the Kino Boys. So I'll always be forever in their debt for that, And I had so much fun doing their show. Like I just would laugh my ass off and have a great time. And it benefited my channel tremendously, So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about this here
boardroom meeting
and this here. So as you can see, we were at 16 goals out of 20 hit, meaning we need 4 more support goals to do DSP tries at the adult Happy Meals.
He's asking for $600 to fill his fat face with McDonald's. He's going to do an adult Happy Meal. Did you know? On Twitter, I offered. No, I didn't monetize the Hidden in Plain Sight guys. They got there on their own. But when we did that show together, I offered to give them half the super chats, but they didn't want it. So, it is what it is. Those guys got there on their own. They do a great job. I watch them sometimes and just laugh my ass off. I think they do a better job covering, funnier. Definitely do a funnier job covering David Wilcock than me. The two of them are so funny together.
I say meals because I'm going to get both versions, so we can get 2 of the adult collectibles, and we can do the food and everything.
He's really excited about the toys that come with the adult Happy Meal.
Disgusting new shake. It looks really gross, but we're going to do that this week. But we need to get it going. 4 goals to go.
I could do that.
If we get goals on today's streams and tomorrow's streams, we'll be doing it on Thursday. If we happen to hit a double goal,
he wants $600 from the audience.
Minecraft stream or tomorrow's.
And just so everybody understands, he's asking for $600, and then if he gets the $600, your wonderful reward will be to watch him eat a McDonald's adult Happy Meal, right? You would have to be texting them paragraphs and asking for favors ad nauseum while drunkenly asking them to watch your shows with no timestamps to be laughed at in order to be as pathetic as Phil. Listen, nobody likes needy friends, right? And by the way, being a content creator is a little bit lonely. So it's nice to have some other friends that do it because they're the only ones that understand that, like I'm sure Duty understands this, I call it keeping the hamster wheel going, Duty. Like Duty gets it because he does it every day. Kino guys get it because they do it. They're either doing a show or they're working on the next one. So I like having other content creator friends, but just think about in your own life. Like if you have a needy friend or a very needy family member or a very needy friend that's always asking you for help or something, it's not good. It's got to be a two-way street, He has a mark for collectibles, or he is a mark. He's a mark for collectibles. Yeah, remember all the junk he used to spend all his money on? Stupid statues of Mortal Kombat characters and shit that he would buy for like $500, and then he's wondering why he's like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to credit cards. The moron.
Stream, then we can do it tomorrow. All right. But we have to get that going.
Yeah.
So how about this right now?
Yeah.
Let's get some support.
Give me the $600 right now.
Podcast and the reacts I'm about to do, and for Soy Code N2. If you're here for Soy Code N2, you're here in the right place. I keep saying Suikoden, it's Suikoden, right? It's so Suikoden 2. Let's get some support.
Here comes the
Notably,
super beggar
right now we have super
sampler.
chats and tips. So thank you to those who super chatted and those who tipped. I appreciate it. Can we get our first sub of the day over on Kick? And can we get
That's right. I gotta
possibly
get some
a member
anal beads and a sizzle jacket.
on YouTube?
That's
Can we
right.
get some support in that regard to get some variety going and get some momentum going? And then I'm going to react to the Bubsy and the Silent Hill F trailers, and then we'll see how much time we have left. All right?
And here
Let's
he
get
is.
one. Remember,
He's begging
hold on a
for
second,
one
excuse me.
sub.
We all know that all the support that I get is all actually, I send it to myself, right? We all know that I am actually
Oh, you
Ether,
fake tips,
I
dude.
am Kremps,
He's sure
I am
as shit he's fake
Infinite
tips
177. I'm also Lance Catamaran. I'm your future stepdad, right? But I'm also NDO 103. Okay. Who else am I? Who else would I be? Let's think about this.
Here he is admitting that he's only got like 6 or 7 real supporters that actually send him money, right? And the rest are detractors just trying to goad him and fuck with him.
Oh, I must be Habib. I have to be Habib, right? So we know that it's all me. And what I've done is I've programmed an elaborate AI that watches my
got
stream.
no
And when I
excuse for
use
being
certain
broke,
trigger
yeah.
keywords, contributions come in. Okay?
Yeah, lower
So here
than
we
a
go.
beta.
So right now, I'm going to use this trigger keyword. Let's get our first sub of the day over on Kick right now.
Super beggar sampler. And nothing happened. Nobody supported, Phil, because you suck and you're boring and you beg like a crackhead.
There we go.
Oh, he did
Your
get
future
it.
stepdad has gifted a sub
That's why he begs like a crackhead, because
to
people respond to his
mending
crackhead
a
begging.
reel. Mending a reel. That's a weird name. Your future stepdad, thank you so much.
Yeah, a few of those names do
There we
donate to the
go.
casino.
The AI is right on time. Beautiful. Appreciate that. Let's get this AI, your future stepdad, on the leaderboard.
Bought it.
Absolutely perfect timing. There we go.
He's hallucinating subs.
Now, on the YouTube side,
Not even Beg's Bunny could save his
let's
goal.
do it. Let's trigger the AI. Let's get our first gifted membership of the day on the YouTube side. Right
How long has he been begging? For like 5 minutes straight now, right?
now.
How long has he been begging? It's got to be 5 minutes straight. It's got to be. And here he is, waiting for it.
Okay,
For
I think I still have some bugs to work out on the YouTube side. I think the AI isn't working over there. Because
the AI.
at least we got it working on the Kick side. Right? Very good. Anyway, thanks for the early support. I appreciate it. Let's keep that rolling. All right, let's be sure that we can hit a goal for Suikoden. I keep saying Suikoden. Thank you for that. Let's hit the goal for
He can't even say the name of the game that he's playing.
Suikoden 2 today. We hit every single time that I played Suikoden 1, we hit a support goal. And that's why I promised you guys that I would play Suikoden 2. So now we're starting it today. Let's keep that going. Let's have big support for classic RPGs.
He's at $40 whole after all this begging.
Because the truth is, I love classic JRPGs. I grew up playing them. But the thing is, when I try to do these games, a lot of the times, I don't really get the numbers. I don't get people showing up, engaging and supporting with these games for whatever
He's worse
reason.
than a
Don't know
telethon
why,
from the
because they're classics
70s.
and they're great. They're very chill games, lots of interaction and fun that we can have, talking not only about the game, but just other topics. You know, you don't have to always focus just on the game.
The SP is
And I'm
the
down for that.
stupidest
I'm down to have a
person
good time today with
that he can
Suikoden
be
2.
without having an
I just
actual
need you guys
mental
to
disability.
buy into it.
The way
So
he
that we can
talks
do
is
the full
proof of
playthrough
that.
just like we
Yeah.
did Suikoden 1. I want to play the entirety of Suikoden 2, get all the characters, do everything, but I need people to come by and support the playthrough then. Okay?
Notice he says support instead of money.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wait, oh my God, I just saw
Pignosis.
something. Everyone,
Pignosis.
take a look at this. I've never
He's
seen this
definitely
before.
a
Are you ready
soy
for
boy.
this?
Yeah.
Everyone take a look at the screen.
And a mental
all
nut
right? Look
job,
below
yeah.
me. It says pre-order now.
Rattling his
and
cup
look what it
like
says
a
directly
bum.
below that. Buying or purchasing any digital products is a license.
Scammers reality. Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone call that out in its advertising? I've been saying this for years and years, and you guys argue with me about physical collecting and stuff. But you see, what they're outright telling you is you do not own the game. You are purchasing a license to play our game, but you do not own the rights to it.
Yeah, that sucks.
See?
I like physical copies.
All right. Anyway.
I got the drip going. I got the drip going. I got the.
Yeah, this is why I like physical copies. All right. So I think that well, we're at a little over 2 hours. I had something else to share, but it's a very long video, and honestly, I think it's kind of boring, and I'll save it for another show, perhaps. It's just him spazzing out over a game. We've seen this so many times. He's blaming the game the whole time, and and this was Battlefield 6 miserable support stream. Oh, you know what? We'll do a little bit of this. We'll get into this one then. One moment here. I never get tired of a DSP crash out. Not never. Is he a Seattle guy? He lives outside of Seattle in a little town called Renton. Shower video. All right, we'll do a little bit of this, and if we have time, if the donos continue, the content will continue. How about that? We're at 13 of I'm going to pull a DSP right now. We're at 13 of the 30 for the goal. Can't we get to halfway to the goal, bish? Can't we get? Because listen, after we get halfway there, it's all downhill. It's easier to get the second half, but we got to get the first half, bish. We got to praise the cash. I'll try the DSP Super Beggar Sampler. Can we get a gifted sub on Kick? Can we get a new subscriber on Kick? Can we get a new member on YouTube? Did you know that if you become a YouTube channel member during a live broadcast, I'll give you a big shout out and a thank you. If you gift some YouTube memberships during a live broadcast, I give you a big shout out and a thank you. If you send a super chat, you get a big shout out and thank you. If you buy me a coffee or send a PayPal, you get a big shout out and thank you. So there's my Super Beggar Sampler of the day, right? Yeah, let's just get the goal out of the way, guys, so we don't have to think about it anymore. Do you know he actually recently said, if we can hit the goal, like before I start playing, then I won't have to beg through the whole game. We could just get it out of the way right now. Yeah, hold the show hostage. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, or how about we'll withhold the camera. No camera until the donations improve, bitches. No camera for you. And a kick stream, we're just gonna turn the kick stream off like DARKSYDEPHIL. No, I won't do that. But yeah, hold the whole show hostage. Yes. Ain't Too Proud. DSP theme song is Ain't Too Proud to Beg. That's correct. That's the title of tonight. Fold your arms like Phil and just say you're not going to show the video until someone donates kick subs. Yeah. Come on, guys. Can we get a kick sub? Can we at least get one kick sub for the day? Can we get it? Can we get that one kick sub? Look at that. Duty Streams says for the momentum. Okay. Thank you, dude.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
Yeah. Thank you for your kindness and generosity. I'm going to have to throw some super chats on your stream. I generally do that when somebody does it to me because, being a show host ain't easy, bro. Right? Let's see this crash out over this game because this is kind of funny. We'll see how he freaks out. But this is a pretty long video. I think, wasn't it the first? Oh no, I'll just start right here.
That sniper rifle they give you initially, so I'm going to try to use that more. Let's get our first membership of the day on Kick. We got no support from Kick this morning. Can we get?
Jesus Christ, man! It just opens with the begging.
Get some.
Nope.
Can we get a tip bigger than $1.50? someone blew it up. First time I drove a vehicle.
You lose, Phil. God, he sucks at playing games.
All right, we got D on my ass. I took D on my ass.
Yeah, he definitely took a D in his ass, yeah.
What? That's nonsense. Are you kidding? I shot that guy 3 to 4 times, and then he just sprayed, and I died instantly. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, you get a lot more views than me, dude. You gotta show me how to do that shit. He's not even grateful for the tippies, man. It's not bigger.
What the fuck?
Wanted for robbery. $1,000 cash
what just
reward.
happened? What was I gonna do?
He's a professional game
Spawned in the
loser.
open for some
That
reason.
is correct.
I put objective B. Objective B is over there. They spawned me a block away from the objective that I clicked on. That's weird. Obviously, I wanted to spawn on the objective to help defend it, not a block away by myself, surrounded by enemies. Why did they do that? Look, I'm clicking on B.
Why am I toxic? Why am I toxic?
No, it's up. Oh, it's totally not what I wanted. Did it work? It worked.
Oh my god! What the fuck? Whoa! Whoa!
Don't lose him.
Okay. My C4 exploded. I don't even know why. What just happened?
He just gets.
I was trying to
killed
put down the
over
spawn
over
and my
over. He's
C4
just
exploded.
Always respawning.
Well, they have B now.
He
Great.
does love talking about these. Yes.
What the fuck? Dude. Every time they go full auto and spray, it insta-kills you. It doesn't make sense.
Suffer game.
If I've already hit them once,
Game's
twice, they
fault.
must have almost no health. Okay? So give me one more
Game's
shot.
fault.
No,
I
they
did
spray,
nothing
you're
wrong.
dead
I did
instantly.
everything right.
That's terrible. That's terrible fucking gameplay. I'm stuck. I can't move. I got stuck on a stupid thing. What is this? Look, a box? What the fuck is this? I got stuck on this dumb
again.
Damn it, man.
Game is bugged.
Well, that sucks.
Yes, it's the game. It's the game that's bugged, not me.
I can't hit them at all.
I don't think his
can't
wife
move.
is home.
I literally can't
I don't
move.
think his wife is home.
I was stuck on a dumb box and I couldn't get out of the way.
All right, we only have one person complain about the noisy sound effects, right? So, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. So, thank you, Troll, for hearing the call of the goal and praise the cash, bitches. And I agree with this statement. Troll, who's been a longtime show supporter, Troll came with the show, right? From the very beginning, I think Troll has been here. And Troll says, try telling your viewers cash, grass, or ass. Nobody watches for free. Yeah, let's do that. Come on, man. Cash, grass, or ass. Nobody watches for free, my friends. But thank you, Troll, for being such a great longtime show supporter. I really appreciate
Well, let's face it, also, money talks.
it. Thank you for making your money talk to me. And we've got 77XD York 55. That's a mouthful. With five for the goal. If Steve hits his goal today, I will commit to driving 30 minutes south to Renton and taking a shit on DSP's porch. That is the comment of the night. We've got somebody offering to go take a shit on Phil's porch. But as a responsible show host, I cannot support or condone this plan. 77XD York 55. I would not encourage anybody to take a shit. And I know this guy will do it too, right? And here's what I have to say about that.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Oh man, that is something else. And we'll play you a special DSP money bumper. for putting a smile on my face and having the comment of the night. But please don't do that. I cannot encourage or condone you doing that. Please don't do it for real. Just say you were joking.
Day one views, day one inflated views, make the money. Gee, thanks for the money, dummy.
Give me the money.
I can't wait for the money. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I'm so just enveloped in greed and money. I need money. I need money.
I need that money to pay my bills.
By the way, I really desperately need the money to help with my tax situation. So, hint, hint. Money that I gotta spend.
It's rare when I have to come out and say, guys, we really need tons of money today. When do I say that, right?
Dude, you know how rude it is to ask people about money?
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
Oh, I realized that the goal ended, but we're up to 15. This will be 16 now. So I'll just pocket watch and keep track of it like Phil does. I'll just count every dollar as they come in. Every 5. The count for the goal, it must be at 5 or greater. Urban Terra with 5 for the goal says trolley troll or coke, poke, or smoke. No one watches for free. Yeah, that's a great way to say it, but we thank you all for your kindness and generosity.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
Long live the goal, bitch. God bless the goal. Yes. Ha ha ha. I did 2 of the 3, but not the cash, says Archaic Revival. Okay, Steve, we need to hit the goal. Yes. The voices will not stop says, do not do this. Do it. Yeah, I can't be seen as supporting that. That could be considered some kind of form of, somebody will make something out of that if I were to say something about that. They really need some chips. They really, really do. I joke, man. My wife spends so much on snacks, dude. It's ridiculous. There's variety packs, Doritos. There's 3 different kinds of Doritos in the pantry. There's popcorn. There's all different kinds of chips and snacks. My oldest son, who happens to be nonverbal autistic, but he barely speaks, but one word he knows is chips. Yeah, my wife, oh my God, are we loaded up with snacks.
There they are. They're all below. These maps are so huge in so many ways to get into each building and everything.
Every time he dies, he's got... Look, man, people die on gaming streams. They don't do well. I've never seen a gaming streamer make an excuse every time they have to respawn or they get killed in a game, especially a game like this. It happens all the time. Why does he always have to give some excuse?
It's impossible to ever know where they're going to be coming from. Look, they're all in this building. How would I have known that they were going to be coming up those stairs? You can't.
Yeah, we do have one, but they like the bag. They like the popcorn from the bag. I don't know why.
Should I try that? Close quarter combat? Maybe I should try it. Well, hell, if the chat would go away. I can't see because the chat's in the fucking way. I guess that was me right here. I had 15 kills and 9 deaths. Wow, I did better than I thought. Or wait, is that me? Or is that my squad? Where's me? How do I tell where I am? Yeah, I have no idea who I am.
Let me address this because this is a good comment. To be Flair says, "All Steve hugs. My boyfriend's son stopped talking at 3 for a year. He started talking again. There's always hope. And if not, just a big squeeze to reconnect them to their bodies." One word he knows is squeeze. He knows squeeze. And hug. He says hug or squeeze. So we do that. And he does speak a few words, but most of his verbal communication is requests for food. He'll say chip, he'll say tea, and, he'll say eat. We kind of, eventually you figure out what he means by each. Like when he says eat, he doesn't want a snack. He wants a meal, right? And when he says tea, he just means liquid refreshment. And I hold up bottles and ask him which one he wants. Do you want punch or orange juice or milk? And he'll point and tell me which one. So Does your autistic fun fish? Does your autistic son fish? No, he just goes along and eats snacks the whole time we're fishing. Seems like something he might enjoy. We try to get him to. He doesn't really want to do it, so I don't want to force him. Um, yeah, that is a nice comment, and it's nice to know that. Remember, if you're dealing with especially with a child with a disability, you're not alone. There's other people out there that are suffering from the same sort of things. And I always say that autism is terrible because it's not just the child that suffers with it, it's the whole family. His brother has to pitch in and help him. He has sensory issues. Sometimes he gets overloaded and melts down, and his brother helps me to calm him down and, get him something to distract him from the meltdown. Being an autism dad is probably the hardest, most difficult part of my life. But I hate autism, but I love my son and I'll do anything for him.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, I was way down here. I had 16 kills and 10 deaths and 18 assists, actually. I did pretty good. I had 16
we have to
and 10.
lock the fridge because he
Nice.
likes to dump stuff.
So we're at
he'll just
41
dump
support out of a
a
150
gallon of
goal.
iced tea
Thank
in
you
the
guys. Please, let's
sink.
keep it coming. Sorry, I can't talk with you that much.
Yeah.
We know what Conquest is. Let's try some other modes now.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not talking to you or reading out the goals, right? But thanks for the free money, dummies.
People asking me about a random game I've never heard of during a stream of a beta of another game is
He's at $41. Jesus, with all that begging, he's only at $41.
not a good time to do that. I'm not thinking about any other game right now. Yeah, we'll try Close Quarters.
He's
much smaller
12
map, I'm
years
sure.
old now.
Okay, 16 players.
12.
8 on each side. So it's Call of Duty. It's basically Call of Duty. I'm in melee. How the fuck do I melee? F? F.
Troll. That's good, The good book says, honor thy father and thy mother. After my father died, my mother was a career housewife, and I took care of her for 22 years. So I get it. It's good to do that. You got to take care of family.
Oh, that's complete nonsense. He wasn't even shooting at me. He killed my teammate and was spraying wildly, and a glancing blade hit me. Get the fuck out of here, dude. There was no way.
Yeah, it could always be worse.
That's fucking nonsense.
It could always be worse. I try to remind myself, because I've been around a lot of autistic children, and my son's very severely affected by autism, but there's some big blessings with my son. Like he does the bathroom on his own. He figured that out. And there's some children that are in diapers, they're 25 years old and they're in diapers, and you've got to deal with that. That sucks. That's terrible. So at least, and there's good days with an autistic child. You're going to have some good days and you're going to have some bad days. We just try to minimize everything that causes the meltdowns and the bad days and the sensory issues, and maximize him being in a good mood. Like, my best days are when he's happy, because sometimes he's just giddy and happy, and he's running around giggling and playing with his brother like a regular child, or unaffected child. I hate the term regular child, but I have a son that does not have autism or is not handicapped, and I have one that is. So I saw this study once, says Tarius Gaming. I saw this study once that was showing that Roundup, the weed killer, caused a huge spike in autism in the last 20 years. When I was growing up, it was something no one ever heard of. I've run the gambit researching autism, and I don't know what to believe, but that's one theory, because there has been a worldwide spike in autism since the introduction of that, whole GMO and pesticides thing. So one thing I am sure of is it's not caused by, or I think I'm sure of, is it's not caused by vaccines, because there's studies that show that it occurs in the womb before birth and before any of those things are administered to the child, right? Didn't mean to derail the show. No, happy to do it. It's fine. People like sometimes when I talk about more personal things. I just wanted to express my understanding and give you kudos for being an involved, loving parent. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know if you know this, and the people in the audience might know this, but autism is very, very tough on a married couple. So much so that I think the statistic is something like 92% of parents of autistic children are divorced because it's very, very difficult thing to deal with. You need one of the two, at least one of the two, has to be a full time caretaker if the child is that disabled, and mine happens to be. So, but by the grace of God, my wife and I have always, worked things out. We've had some really tough times though, where that was at least thought about, like separation, because it's just so tough dealing with that every day. But like I said, we just try to minimize his bad days and his meltdowns and his bad moods. We joke that he's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde some days. He has we call it Happy Zach and Evil Zach. Like, nasty Zach is back, and he'll have this spell for a week where he'll just be belligerent and upset and nasty for a full on week, and then he snaps out of it and he's fine for weeks on end. So who knows? Yeah, I have made my peace with the causal factors because here's something that is important. Autism is not a curable condition. It's neurologic and it's, physical as well. So I went down every rabbit hole, like what thinking, did we do something wrong during the pregnancy that caused this? Was there environmental contaminants that we weren't aware of? Like, I've given up on ever knowing what caused his condition and just focused on, treatment. And thank God he's got a great mom who, she's his advocate, and she got him so much in the form of counseling and therapy. And he's got a full-time aide at school whose job it is to just get Zach through the day like his mom has done so much fighting for him to get everything he could get as a disabled child for help and support. And so, we just do the best that we can. And I'm going to call it there on this Phil stream because he just seethes and complains that it's the game's fault, right? Wow. Brandy Phillips, I didn't know that. My son had non-potty mouth Tourette's. It comes with so much baggage. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, like I said, just know if you're dealing with a disabled member of your family, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that are dealing with the same things. It's also, I'm sure that being a caretaker of my son has made me a better father and a better husband and just a better person because I've gotten to interact with so many other families that are affected by autism that I have tremendous empathy and sympathy for people that are struggling with this that I never would have even thought about. I've seen before my son, I'm sure I've seen a disabled child or autistic child having a meltdown, and I was not very kind to those people. Like, like what the hell's going on with this maniac in the store or whatever, some kid, autistic child having a meltdown. I would later learn, oh, that kid I saw one time having a meltdown was autistic and he was overloaded. Autistic children get overloaded if there's too much sensory stuff at once, and sometimes crowds can set them off or loud noises or, but I have tremendous, tremendous empathy for anybody struggling with the disability of a child. I also spent a lot of time around children with Down syndrome, and boy, they're the happiest. They're like, you give a child with Down syndrome like a chocolate milk. He's the happiest kid you'll ever see, and the thing with autism that's the most difficult, at least for me, is that my son has an inability to communicate just basic things and needs. So even a child with Down syndrome can tell you, like, I have a stomach ache, Dad, or whatever. Like, my son can't tell. So when he has a medical issue, especially that's going on, like one time he had an ear infection, he was pissed off and angry and having meltdowns for a week before they figured it out. They treated him for the ear infection and he was fine. He was in pain, but he couldn't communicate. Eventually the doctor figured out that he was holding his ear or whatever, and they found it, right? Yeah, I have heard of the autism tapes, and that's a scam. It is a complete and total scam to suggest that children with nonverbal autism can communicate through telepathy. I've way gone down that rabbit hole. I was going to do a show on it, but I started working up the show, and I realized that I was getting very emotional about these people scamming people. It's called the telepathy tapes. It's a total scam. I was getting very emotional, and I was too close to the subject matter, so I decided not to cover it on my show, right? But the telepathy tapes is a scam. Yeah, you learn that these children are a blessing, not anything less. I've always thought, I'm kind of spiritual and religious, and one way that I've thought about that my situation is that God in his wisdom knew that my wife and I could take care of him and handle him. So God in his wisdom sent him to us. And, what are you going to do? It's my son. When we got his diagnosis, and then we were basically told, like, you have two choices. Either one of you has to basically quit working and be a full-time caretaker for him, or he needs to be in an institution or a group home. That was really tough because for months and months and months, we knew he was behind verbally. I just kept telling my wife, like, he's just a little behind. He'll catch up, He never caught up. And that was a tough pill to swallow once the diagnosis was like official. And that's a whole rigmarole to get the official diagnosis. I kind of my wife and I mutually agreed that, like, she made more money at her corporate job than I did. So I quit and decided to start a business, and I don't regret a thing because I've been there for him since he was a baby, doing whatever he needed to do. And, we used to have people come to our home for speech therapy, physical therapy, and all kinds of therapy. And I'd have to be there 4 days a week to meet the person and welcome them into our home and help them with the sessions. And it's tough, right? Rushes 3577 with one for the goal. Amen to you, brother. As a fellow dad of a Lottie autist, I know the struggle, but I also know the little victories are the greatest. Yeah, some of the best days of my life are when he suddenly says something, like out of the blue. I say that he's nonverbal, and that's mostly true. But in a lot of nonverbal cases, they don't say a word. Zach's got a very small vocabulary, and it's limited, and we're trying different things, like they give you a tablet with pictograms on it so he can kind of communicate. But honestly, he just uses that to ask for snacks. It's like popcorn, 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 pop, But occasionally he will do something that surprises me. Like he'll just say some words out of it, or even almost a sentence out of the blue. And that gives me hope, and things are looking up. But thank you, Rushes 3577 for your kindness.
But let's face it, also, money talks.
It definitely talks, and we've got Brushes for another one. Also, what's your take on stem cells? Seems scammy. There is a great deal of stem cell scams out there, and that's on my list of things to cover as well.
I have no money. Why would you give that man money?
Thank you, Rushes 3577, and big ups. And we'll check in with the kick support one more time before we bounce on out of here, and check in if we have any support to call out over there. And yes, we do. 5 subs. 5 gifted subs from Ralph's Family Treasure. Thank you, Ralph's Family Treasure, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Very, very kind and generous of you. We love the kick support. Thank you so much for that.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
Yes, my friends. Much, much appreciated. I'll save that for another night. Urban Terror says, thanks for sharing your story, Stephen. Blessing to you and your family on your journey. Yeah, pray for us. That's what I do. Sometimes that's all you can do. And honestly, I'm sure that this experience with my son has made me a better person because, I used to be kind of selfish, and my wife would say I'm narcissistic, you know, um, and it's taught me that, there's more important things than me. And he needs the attention more than most other things in my life. So, but I'll tell you what, it's exhausting. Like, he gets into these weird tics, like, some days he just decides he doesn't want to have pants and he's just running around taking his pants off constantly. And I have to constantly put his pants back on him. And that's very frustrating. Like, what are you doing, dude? Pants day? And he'll say, on. And then I put his pants on. And then 10 minutes later, he's taking his pants off. And we can't have him doing that like outside, right? It's not good. Equitus with 5 and 1 for the goal. I did pediatric care as an RN for a while and appreciate good parents like you. Well, thank you. And we've had some excellent counselors and supporters and nurses and doctors, and we've been very blessed.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
They say equatus, it takes a village. And in our case, it really did, right? God gives us these children because he knows what we are capable of. Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. He's my son. He's my firstborn son. You gotta take care of him, and he is, affected to the point where he's not going to like be able to live independently ever or get a job or whatever. So that's a little scary, and my biggest worry and concern is what am I going to do once I'm unable to care for him, but of course we're going to sock away money and do whatever we can do. And I'm sure, my friend's brother did that, nonverbal, and got naked and excited before going to go swim. I took care of him for the summer. He likes swimming and tickles and food too. Those are the 3 big things for my son. He likes tickles. He likes hugs. He'll come up to you and want you to squeeze him sometimes. They like the pressure. And thank you, Equitus, for your kindness, generosity, and support. And definitely food and swimming is a few of his favorite things. He likes swimming so much that when he sees any water, like if we're at a mall and there's a fountain, he starts taking his shoes off and trying to get in the water. So we try to take him to the pool. Even during the winter, we have like a pool membership at an indoor pool. We take him to the lake. He loves to swim. He'll do it for hours and hours, right? Yeah. So we've done our due diligence, and I'm sorry if me talking about this other stuff is a downer or you're not here for that. Got off on kind of a tangent, but that is known to happen on live streams. So we have done our due diligence. I'm going to bounce on out of here, but I'll be back tomorrow at, I believe, 7 p.m. But we might go a little early tomorrow, so maybe 6:30. Follow me on X or Twitter at Stephen Cambion. We always announce the shows there a few hours before showtime, much like Kino does. And I've got a great show planned for you tomorrow, and I've even got one. We got 2 more shows for the week. I'm going to try to squeeze an extra one in because I've said this before, but during the summer I tend to only do 3 shows a week because, people are outside doing outdoor activities. There's a summer slump every year with the views and the support. So, I cut down the shows, but now we're getting out of that season and we'll be ramping things up to 4 or 5 shows a week as the summer ends. But I want to suck in as much summer as I possibly can before it's all over, right? We're gonna go to this huge lake near us, near my cabin this weekend, Lake Wallenpaupack, and we're gonna be fishing off of a speedboat and doing some tubing and maybe maybe even water skiing. My youngest son, is going. He's very, very excited, and it's gonna be interesting. So we want to thank you, kind and generous benefactors, you super chatters, you YouTube membership purchasers, you YouTube members, Patreon supporters, Kick subscribers, people gifting Kick subs, super chatter, super sticker, super thanks, people buying me a coffee, people on Patreon, people sending PayPal pledges, and also anybody buying me a coffee. All great ways to support the show, and how to help is in the description of this video or podcast. If you're listening in audio podcast land, we love and appreciate you, but you're missing half of the fun. So go on over to YouTube, put Truth Seekers, one word, in the search bar. Go there, smash the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you too will know when we're doing a live broadcast. And we would love for you to be a part of our live studio audience as we create these shows. And also, pinned in both the Kick and the YouTube live chat is the link to our Clips channel. Please be sure to go on over and subscribe to our Clips channel. I will be working on and adding some clips tonight and tomorrow. There's new clips every few weeks. You know, I'm trying to get more going, you know, but I understand that it's enough just running the show. Doing the clips too is kind of a grind, but I'm trying my very best so that we can get that Clips channel monetized and praising the cash, right? So I'll be back tomorrow night. Follow me on Twitter or on Facebook. We announce the shows both on Facebook and Twitter. 1 second. I'm going to check in, make sure we don't have anything to shout out, anything left to shout out. I believe that we got it all. One moment. Oh, no, we have Ralph Family Treasure for the final support of the night. Not only did he gift 5 subs, but Ralph Family Treasure also subscribed himself. So thank you for that. And we've got a special one just for you Kick supporters, especially Ralph Family Treasure, who gifted 5 subs, and Boba1489, who gifted 5 subs. Thank you all, though, over there for your support and generosity.
This is a pig.
The game blatantly cheated.
It's totally the game's fault, right? It's totally the game's fault. Not Phil's fault at all. It's always the game's fault, right? That's one of those things. Yeah. So I'm going to bounce on out of here. I'll be back tomorrow night. But that's all I got for you for now. So until next time, friends, my name is Steve Canby, and good night, and God bless all of you.
He came on with power and light. Back in the day, he always thrived. Oh, the more I stream, the more my views decline. My face has two folds. Ban some names again, can't let my coping show. And I'll be pulling tonight. Remember, this was all my plan. Snaking you an 8th-month scam every damn night. Endless DMs, ignoring my own wife to felt the trolls. But to all of my fans' delights, I could buy new RGB lights, crystallized glow, a nuclear night flying me. Once again, they're not seeing right. Goodbye, Keto.
How dare you?
I'll be the first in line at your blow, babe. Humiliation, bukkake. And I won't say mad, you can't get fat. But those types of razzes, they got me so hard. It was so worth the subs, goddamn. But all things end, I can't have you back. But I'll jerk off to you with this hand. You were so gay for me, I said. Inviting me to Hogan's as a friend. I must confess, no trap was set. I am just coping, guys. And I'll be drinking tonight. I really just have no friends. Every bridge bird cannot man. John Rambo, Howard OJ, milk them for the view. So little.
Milking a
babe.
human.
But things are gonna be alright. Inheritance is in my sight. Falklander's plan, she's on her deathbed 6 whole years. But I'll use that for pity. Goodbye, kid.
Could you tell me to shut the fuck up? We're doing a show?
I'll be the first in line as your cuckold, celebrating your banging. I won't stay mad, you can't get fat. But those are good razzes, they got me so hard. It was so worth the cash, goddamn. But all things end, I can't have you back. But I'll jerk off to you with this. Promise, Catherine, that we quit the champions. But you stay addicted, sweaty man, you're real fashion. So when you claim that you love her, remember that you've given more to Hogan, brother. Catherine Weems, you love me. Goodbye, Kino. I'll be the first in line for your pegging. Rambo did that many times. I won't be mad. You can't get fat, but those were the razzes that got me so hard. It was so worth the subs, goddamn. But all things end, I can't have you back. But I'll beat off to you with this. I won't stay mad, you can't get fat. And those were the razzes that got me so hard. It was so worth the subs, goddamn. But all things end, I can't have you back. But I'll jerk off to you with this hand.
This guy is sad, bro.
Pathetic.
He thought you got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Phil finally had a friend, but he was a snake.
Ignoring all the trolls, to him they are just sound. When the kingdom reigns, there's no money to be found. Stuck in his castle to forever be housebound. He got himself a new PC. Now the trolls will cope and see. Blessed with riches from the keynotes, but we all know where that money goes. The casino will bring him bad luck. The king will always fuck it up. Then soon the detractors will sing. Fell to the king, fell to the king, fell to king. Fell to the king. Fell to the king. Fell to the king. Soon the riches will run out. Then the king will have to shout, taking their taxes and some coin, hoping for the casino to rejoin. And then the detractors will sing, fell to the king. Fell to the king. Fell to the king. Fell to the king.